The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyze it with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
We finally got a winner, y'all. And I just get it out the way. As the game Pro Wrestling once said, a winner is you. Because we ain't gonna pull that, yo, you know who won this tournament? Hip hop won this tournament. No, nigga, we got a winner. And Tyrone and TJ seen it pre-show, just so we didn't have no funky ass stumbles live, looking like, you know, slow folks or delayed folks counting and doing math and stuff. But we'll reveal that in a minute. Y'all know who I am. Y'all know what this is. Am I pointing in the right direction to y'all cameras now?
Yeah.
All right. 20% off your order using the code start at 5 at hooksrub.com. Hooksrub.com got a fresh new update. My man's shout outs to Jared. He's doing amazing things over there. Please utilize that code to get 20% off your order. You know, the sun is shining, but the weather ain't that great yet, Tyrone, because this man is hiding in the car today.
Shout out to my boy Benz who let you know that we can do the show from the vehicle, you know what I mean? So I was on the road, so I hit the old pull over because I didn't want to miss this show because, like I said, I'm going to be on a cruise and I'm going to be missing the next 2 weeks, so I didn't want to miss three episodes. So I'm here today, and and I'm glad that we got a winner for the tournament. I was going to come on here and gloat a little bit, but I guess not. But we'll get into that later. But TJ, what's up, man?
What's up, man? So your 2 weeks overlap my 2 weeks. So when you come back, I'll be leaving because I'm going to Costa Rica for a week from Sunday to Sunday. So I hold you down, you hold me down. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's how we do it.
That's how we do it. Yo, man, what they say? A loser is a winner that didn't try hard, right? You know what I'm saying?
Second place is the first loser.
Yeah, man. So, 96 tried hard.
Damn, TJ, can you say what's up to O before we even you
yes,
fast forward in the conversation?
What's up,
you just gave it away.
No. I'm just saying, man. Let me get my soliloquy off, and then let me finish the shoutouts. But it's okay. Yo, what's up? Okay. I'm done talking.
Fast forwarding the results.
No, I figured TJ, had his mushrooms in, man. So
it just started. It just started. I feel it.
Nah, man, I'm envious of y'all, boy. Shout out to my boy Jamal who ain't here, man. I guess he the first one on vacation. Then
London town.
Then TJ. You know what I mean? But nah, man, I'm looking forward to a great show. I talk about these results, like TJ alluded to, man. So Yeah, I'm gonna pass it off to my boy Dan.
Alluded to. The nigga just said it all. But to count it right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 votes for 1996. But 94 got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
No.
And your winner is 1994 for all you suckers out there. Now, TJ, go ahead.
You know what? That
Back
three
to the
loss,
soliloquy, please.
that three vote loss ain't that bad. It's not as bad as it. I mean, that means that was a real close race. It went down to the precincts where the people got to vote at. You know what I'm saying? They had to go in and count some ballots. Respect. I mean, is there really a loser? Is there really a loser?
No.
I mean, 94 was wow, bro. Wow. Just go back and show them the year, Dan. Show them the winning year.
And Tyrone, you got something to reveal to us as I go get that.
I'm sorry, but you know, you're a winner, whatever, and there's no loser, whatever. I don't live in that world. I live in
You
a
don't
world.
subscribe to that? You don't subscribe to that?
I live in a world where, yeah, I was okay. If we want to say we're winners, yeah, we were winners. We were winners in '94 when we was listening to the shit. We was winners in '96 when we was listening to the shit. But as far as tournament is concerned, right now, I'm a loser because all my money in my head and everything was hung on 1996 winning this tournament, and it did not. So no, I don't feel
Yeah,
like
man, but I'm not mad because look, you had Illmatic, Hard to Earn, Ready to Die, The Diary, Ill Communication,
What
To
do you
Cow,
got?
Something Playalistic.
Yeah, but according to that thought, Professor FanDuel, that would have been big. That would have been big money lost if he bet 96, right?
Yeah.
Yo,
Go to 96 real quick, Dan. Go to 96 real quick.
Here's the problem with your little theory, CJ. Here's the problem with your theory, CJ. You ain't mad at the music. Ain't nobody mad at the music. That's why they the last 2 years that's there. So of course we not mad at the music. Of course we winning because we got them fire albums.
Man.
But I am mad that 96 didn't win the tournament.
Yo, you know how big the score was in 96, dogs?
Mm-hmm. Yo,
that shit went diamond in New York.
I went
ahead and listened to
diamond in New York alone. I went ahead and listened to Blowout Combs. I was listening to it off and on all week.
Yo, fire.
And I'm like, yo, this album.
Fire.
You know, everyone talks about Cool Like That. Cool Like That wasn't even on that album. You know what I'm saying? Like, that album was fire.
Yeah, but there was too many debuts coming out in 94, man.
I listened to the Gravediggers album once again to give me that feel of being back on the bus, to being back on the bus going to summer school.
Facts.
And with my boy Lamar, and I was word for word with every fucking song still to this day. I mean, and see what's crazy is there's so many.
It took you back.
There was mad joints in 96 that was the same thing. But damn it.
There's only like 2 things that can bring you back to where you were as a child, almost, or some of the best parts of your life. It's
music and whoopings.
I didn't even.
I'm joking.
Nah, he's not. He's not joking.
I was joking. I was joking. I said music and whoopings, Tyrone. I was just trying to be a dick and jump over TJ's point.
Dude.
But go ahead, TJ. My bad.
You put some nasty flashbacks, sir.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say, food. You know how you get somebody's cooking and it just hits for that first time, and you're like, damn. And sometimes you only got to go back to that place to get it like that. Whether it be a family member.
I guess because I'm fat, like that don't hit me the same. The food part. Right. Maybe not. I mean, video games for me. Video games can do that. Has done that for me.
Well, I can say 2 things. I can agree with Dan with the Whoopers because sometimes right now, Like if I see a mom walking in the street and I see her pop her kid upside the head, that takes me back, bro. It takes me right back. I'll be like, damn, I remember that. But
bro.
wrestling too. Wrestling takes me back sometimes, because sometimes they'll have a storyline or something that'll happen, or sometimes they do those WrestleMania flashbacks or Royal Rumble flashbacks, and I go, oh yeah, I remember that. And it takes me right back to the living room watching it on the bootleg cable, still in the
Oh
pay-per-view.
man,
Yo,
remember
Tyrone, yo,
wrestling used to come on at Friday night on like Channel 4.
no, you talking about
NBC.
Saturday night main event?
Yeah, that shit was fire, dog.
Yo, Tyrone, don't front. If you let's say you're watching wrestling right now and you hear that broken glass, that shit will instantly take you back to classic Stone Cold shit, boy.
That's an obvious one though. That's an obvious one. Like,
so Dan, what Stone Cold moment takes you back? Because every time I hear the broken glass and every time I think of Stone Cold, I think of when he was created. When he beat Jake the Snake and he said he told him he was gonna lay him on the curb and pour liquor down his throat.
No.
no, I don't.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't have a moment. I don't have a moment with Steve Austin. I just, when you hear it, and you hear the glass shatter, it's just like, for me, it's just like you just look up and see where he's coming from. That's really it.
You know what I was gonna say? Because I remember Steve Austin before he came to the WWE. Was it ECW? Or
well, ECW, he didn't wrestle too much, but that's where he kind of got his. No, he was stunning Steve Austin back in WCW.
Yeah. And then Rob Van Dam, I remember from back then too, because he was nasty.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam, ECW.
Yo, he was bananas, bro. So when he came to WWE, it just wasn't the same to me, because he wasn't in it like he was in the other joint. That man was a technical genius, bro. The dude was nasty.
Technical genius, and
WWE had a lot of restrictive things back then. You know what I mean? WWE had a banned move list. I
didn't know that.
They had all kinds of shit back then that you were not allowed to do on their programming. So people who came from ECW couldn't be the same when they got to
Okay. Yeah. It's like
everybody. Yeah. Everybody who went to the WWE/WWF eventually had their move sets neutered, in my opinion.
Okay.
They had their move sets neutered to a point, which it's a good and it's a bad, because it still happens to this day, to where it's good. Generally, the athletes fairly stay healthier than most places. A lot of the athletes do get hurt at times, but for the most part, they stay a little bit healthier. But then you end up falling into that, you get known as having 5 moves of doom, like John Cena. Like, that there's 5 moves that a wrestler is going to do, or bad, in WWE, it's superstar, because they're not wrestlers there, they're superstars. They got a certain set of moves that every match is coming, which stifles creativity, in my point. And
so let me ask you one question.
Makes sense.
And one of those moves is corny as shit. Like John Cena in that 5-knuckle shuffle is the corniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, but
so let me ask you a question.
Right.
Why would the WWE neuter their moves when those moves is what got them into the WWE? You know what I'm saying?
Because
safety.
TJ, I got you.
Right.
Safety, and also the one thing I can give them credit for, even though their match styles in these days is too predictable. See, Brian, I know you know your shit, but this is where I slightly disagree. WWE equals NBA. Indies is some other companies equals street ball. Yes to the move sets, but NBA isn't as predictable as the WWE. Though people want to say that shit was scripted and things like that, NBA isn't as predictable as WWE. But what the WWE does teach in their lower ranks, as far as what they do in ID now, what they were doing in the original NXT, things like that, and getting people in their system. They were teaching people that, okay, doing moves just to do moves is cool, but you do certain moves to make them mean something. And that's where the difference sets in. But the problem in a WWE style match is, do they really mean anything when you know the shit is coming?
And the other thing too that we also keep forgetting is Vince McMahon is the narcissist of all narcissists, right? So there's no way he was going to let somebody like Rob Van Dam come in and be ECW Rob Van Dam. So that's another thing. Vince is the kind of dude that'll tell your moves out to say, hey, he's a WWE creation, because Vince don't like you coming in with your own shit. So
let me clean that up. Let me clean that up. Let me clean that up. Let me clean that up, because you're right, but not all the way right. Vince was a narcissist that, like, he got to a point where it was undeniable in having to take people in. But then again, the move set situation, it was a safety thing, but also it was mainly to place it in the right spots to make it try to feel like it was impactful.
So basically, he was reinventing them.
Kind of, because Vince would try to change the character so he can own the full intellectual property rights behind the name and said character. So that's why, like, I'll give you today's terms, even though Vince is long gone, but Triple H is doing exactly what his father-in-law did in many ways. Ricky Starks just came from, he was a guy who was an indie guy. He was in NWA. He made his name in AEW. He finally got into the WWE, which that man deserved to get there, deserved to get that shot. But they have him starting in their minor leagues, NXT, and because of the naming and owning of the character, they're calling him now Ricky Saints, to where everybody knew him as Ricky Starks. But now we got to remodel this guy, so now we're known under our label. So now you're coming to buy merch under our label, because, hey, now we own a piece of that name there, Ricky Saints. If it was Ricky Starks, then they would have to cut deals 50-50, 60-40s, 80-20s, because of this. Now they got away with it. They're getting away with it with a Jordan Grace, but they might have, I don't know. I don't think they spelled her name differently, but maybe they came to some kind of contractual agreement. Julia from Japan, she went by Julia in Japan, but now they just kind of repackaged her, and I don't know what kind of deal she signed intellectually. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole. I call the WWE the biggest 360 deal in sports.
One more thing though.
Makes sense.
We talking about eliminating moves for safety, and Dan, I know that TJ and O might not know about this, but I don't think that the Canadian Destroyer should be used in professional wrestling. Every time I see it, bro, I have to turn my head, because if you mess that up, somebody's dying, bro. And
is that like a pile driver?
Dude,
I will show you what the Canadian Destroyer is.
It's terrible.
You don't want to see it. The problem is no, it's a dope ass move. The problem is with the Canadian.
Nothing
with
the
Canadian.
Good. Nothing
was
worse than a. Good. I'm sorry.
The problem with the Canadian Destroyer is it's overused.
No, it's scary as fuck.
But the pile driver is dropping you straight on your head.
The Canadian Destroyer is like a move where they jump over you and then flip you over and pile drive you. It's
Yo, I don't know, TJ, watching Magnificent Morocco doing a pile driver and Paul Orndorff.
This is scary, bro.
Scary as fuck.
Watch.
Jake the Snake was always good for the pile driver, bro.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch that? That's the Canadian Destroyer.
I'm on delay. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
It's something like a pile driver though. It's like a
It
pile
is. It
driver
is.
suplex.
it is a pile driver.
It's a pile
But
driver. It's just a. It's a flip.
yeah, but he's like snapping the neck to get you
Yeah.
over too. That shit is crazy.
Well,
So if you mess
here's
that up,
the pile drive. Listen, the pile driver is scary if you don't do it right. Watch the moves. We gotta watch one day together so I can break this shit down to you.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Austin. Wait, so let's go back to the famous one, the pile driver where Owen Hart did to Steve Austin. Austin over the years used to blame Owen Hart for messing up his neck and all that stuff. But then eventually it was not. Austin had to come and fix it and be like, nah, he fucked it up because Austin didn't tuck his head.
Right.
To where it looked like these are the legs, this is the head,
Right.
pause. And it was sticking out like this.
Yeah.
To where a pile driver looks vicious because if done right, as you've seen in the Canadian destroyers, the head has to kind of stick like this and tuck out of the way. So where the person doing the move is really taking the brunt of the blow because of that tailbone on the mat.
Right. And your shoulders.
And like Brian said, that was Brian said that was the main move WWE banned. But then the indies made it so hot that eventually people had to start doing it. Like, whoa. We can't have all that over there by ourselves.
Yeah, we don't get a piece of that.
Exactly.
Yo, that's a lethal move, bro. You should never be able to get up from that shit.
And TJ,
ever.
one of the guys that does the Canadian Destroyer gets a running start. So he runs and jumps over the guy and grabs him and flips him. So you can imagine.
So the guy got to be jumping on the flip. He got to. It's timing, bro.
Right. And I just be cringing because I'm thinking like if somebody fucks that up, we got a problem.
Yeah, the dude who jumped or the guy who's flipping.
there's way worse that can destroy you more than that. Trust me when I tell you. But back to this rap shit and this hip hop shit though, because so we saw the winners, right? But shout outs to the homie who posted this image, and I'm gonna put this up on screen. Plus, also too, besides me getting to that, like one of these days I want to do something funny because actually. All I want to say is I'll say it on here and I'll tell y'all post show what it is, but like where I got it from. But like we got to do a show one day where we pull up funny ass reviews in places that like why the fuck do they have reviews? And if you kind of get what I'm saying, you'll kind of understand what the fuck I'm talking about. But kind of like Reddit reviews. Like, do y'all remember that series? When there was the banana slicer that came out, and everybody was like, "Yo, don't go look at the banana slicer. Go look at the reviews for the banana slicer." Mm-hmm. Like I'm talking like that type of level of comedy. But this here, Mount Rushmore, New York City rap. Tyrone, you said you was gonna answer to when I brought this up. I want to hear your answer, but then I'm gonna go with something that I think TJ and O may have to agree with to a point, being the resident New Yorkers.
Well, my answer would be LL Cool J because he was an originator. He kind of started the rap scene a little bit. I know it was other people there. I know it was people before him, but I'm just saying LL kind of started the rap scene. And despite his albums not being great, he had the longevity. I mean, the man put out an album this year that was pretty decent. And he also was the first rapper to me that was able to really transition from rap into other things, to getting endorsements, to getting TV, to taking like hip hop,
actual superstar stuff.
Yeah, to another level. And so I can't discredit that. So beyond the music, I gotta put LL Cool J up there.
And that was my thing when I first seen that. spot on to a T. LL to me is the only right answer from this graphic. Because here's the thing, I want you to, and then TJ, Long Island is not New York City.
Rakim.
Yes. And Rakim, if you put it up at New York, you got it. I'm sorry for being Mr. Technical, but Long Island is not New York City.
So,
Long
I'm gonna tell
Island
you,
is not one of the 5 boroughs.
I'm gonna tell you, right? So this weekend, this week, there was a running conversation in my boys group. That a bunch of guys I grew up with, man, from kids, and we would have this conversation: who was better, LL Cool J or Rakim? That's why when I saw this, I started laughing. I'm like, yo, again, like it's a running, like, yo, it's just something that only I feel as though only New York City, New York State dudes can, hip hop heads can really sit down and have a conversation with. You're right. You're correct. So in our group, me included, I was like, Rakim is better than LL Cool J. Lyricist, Rakim is better. Showman, LL has the upper hand. But according
But
to
even
this,
lyrical LL though, LL we sleep
and it wasn't. It's
because
not
when we think, let's keep it
right.
real. Oh, when
It's
niggas
not a
think
drop
about
off.
LL nowadays, they just thinking about the records towards the women, and they try to
Right.
use that to discredit LL when
Right.
LL was taking niggas' heads off.
Correct. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's no drop off. I don't want to say the wrong thing. It's really no drop off as far as lyrical content, as far as the quality of bars. You know what I'm saying? This is a tough. This when you think about this shit, this right here is tougher than Coochie Rap.
Let's
Like, X had niggas in a chokehold for a minute. Everybody talk about Jadakiss when the weather gets warm. You go outside, you hear Jadakiss playing. Like, this is not as easy as Prodigy. This is not as easy as down the fourth. Nah, it's you really got to sit and think about this, man.
What?
50
But again,
again.
it's
50
Mount Rush,
hasn't.
but
50 has
it's
not
Mount
come out with
Rushmore of
anything. I'm sorry. Say
Mount
again.
Rushmore of New York. It's Mount Rushmore of New York City rap.
Yeah. So I
And
wasn't
I'm
gonna
sorry
go
for being
Rakim.
Mr. Technical, TJ.
I wasn't gonna go for Rakim, even though he's like one of the pioneers. It was between Prodigy and LL for me, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And when Dan, when you and Ty started going on about what LL has done, like he's carried, he put FUBU on the map. You know what I'm saying? He put, booming systems, cars ride by with booming systems. You know what I'm saying? Like everything he did was, I mean, he pioneered a lot of shit. On top of that, the man's got a phenomenal acting career and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been on TV for 20 years now. That's crazy. That's crazy. And outside of maybe Will Smith and Ice-T, how many rappers you see on TV like that?
Okay, so all right. So I hear what you're saying. I hear what Tyrone's saying. But can we talk about the title of what we're talking about again? It's the Mount Rushmore of New York City
New York
rap.
City rap.
Rap. Not New York City acting or
Oh, so
rap.
it's Prodigy. If we do a rap, it's Prodigy.
So you put Prodigy over Jadakiss?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nigga.
Man, I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Nigga.
Yeah. Listen.
Yo.
Cool G Rap is right looking at me right there, dogs.
Okay.
Cool G Rap
Yo,
is nice.
I'll be honest with you, DJ. I thought you was gonna say Coogee Rap and Kane. That's what I thought you was gonna say. But you
But
threw me for a loop with Prodigy.
Okay.
And Prodigy is no. I mean, I love Prodigy too. You know what I'm saying? But
if you
but see,
go
right now
go
it's
through
Jada
Prodigy's,
and G Rap, man. For me,
dude, go through Prodigy's albums, and he smokes album for album with everybody in that bottom. I'm sorry,
Jadakiss only got one album. Yeah.
for me, yo, Prodigy's album smoke all of it, Kane got like 2.
Kane got 2.
X for me has 2.
Has 3. Yes, 3.
For me, I get it, but for me has 2. Rakim has, if Eric B ain't there, everything else is like, to me, it's like I could pass. LL's album wise, there's a lot of hit and misses. Cool G Rap, you're going to get the same thing. None of these motherfuckers put together what Prodigy did with just the H&IC album. None of these cats did what he did with the Albert Einstein, him and Alchemist albums.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Son, like, nah, y'all sleep. I throw a TV at all y'all crazy.
But if y'all want, if we gonna do this and we gonna be technical about it with the rap, right? Okay, then you gotta understand this. Biggie and Jay-Z are on that Mount Rushmore for other than rap. You understand?
No,
Biggie is up there for his rap. No. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I'm
finish, but go ahead.
What you gotta say?
Look.
Yes, yeah.
Look.
Have the floor. My bad.
The only one that's up there lyrically is Nas, okay? Jay-Z's up there because he was Jay-Z and because he had commercial success and all of that shit. Biggie's up there. Biggie was lyrical, but let's be clear. If we gonna base it on rap, we can take Biggie and Jay-Z down and possibly and Prodigy should be up there first. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You telling me that Jay-Z was lyrically better than Prodigy?
You're making my stomach hurt, Ty.
Are you telling me that Jay-Z was a better lyricist than Prodigy? So if we talking lyricists, then we can pull Jay-Z down, put Prodigy up there, and then add somebody else.
Is up there with Jay-Z. What are you talking about? Better. We're adding. We're not subtracting.
Okay,
Don't move the goalposts. Don't move the goalposts, bro. They're already up there.
Jay-Z and Biggie are not as lyrical as Prodigy. I would say they might not even be as lyrical as Jadakiss or Rakim. Like,
what have you listened to say this?
What? Y'all think y'all really think that Jay-Z is lyrical as Prodigy, right? Seriously, are we saying that?
Absolutely. Nigga, all right, I'll give you this. Prodigy never did a 22 twos. Prodigy never did a 44 fours. Prodigy never did the story of OJ. Prodigy didn't do a lot of shit that Jay-Z did. But I'm just saying, but album for album though, like I would be listening to Prodigy's albums personally over everybody that's listed. For me.
So y'all trying to say here that Biggie, Nas, and Jay-Z are up there strictly just for rap, and that Jay-Z's commercial success and that Nas's commercial success and that Biggie's commercial success has nothing to do with why they put them on the Mount Rushmore.
But their commercial success didn't come until after their third albums.
But but TJ, but point is they achieved said commercial success because of how lyrically dope they are.
Okay, then.
I was gonna say
it's not because of a commercial style. We could say the commercial style was started off of their lyrical success.
Yes.
So if the commercial success is part of it, then we gonna have to consider DMX. We gonna have to consider 50 Cent. We can't consider.
They're all in consideration. That's why they're here.
Listen.
Man.
That's why they're on the image.
We can sit here and argue with Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z, who has had a longer run of successful of just hits than Jay-Z? Maybe Drake.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, it's commercial. You know what I'm saying? We have commercial success, but it's because of the lyrics.
So what is the high? So what outweighs the other? Because what I'm
the lyrics is always going to come first. The lyrics and the content is always going to come before the commercial success.
Then Prodigy for me beats out Biggie and Jay-Z.
But Prodigy never had the commercial success. He never
But
had that. He
so
never
he
why-
had
did.
that. He
so
never had
He
that
hold
X
on.
he
factor.
did.
That pushed.
Did, but just
Hold
not.
on.
He did, but not to their stratospheres.
Right,
So
He
not to
did.
their
by
He
stratosphere.
did.
that,
Like a 50 Cent. Yo, remember I was talking about my brother yesterday. When In the Club came out, Flex probably played this song 2-3 times a night. But yo, he replayed it. He had about 50 bombs dropping to the damn song. He never finished the damn song because it was I mean, that song had New York in a chokehold, man, for a summer.
And
so
I hated that song.
so
Oh, but to learn
so
also to relearn that song. No, Candy Shop. My bad. Not In the Club, but Candy Shop
so
was made by Haas G from UMC's Staten Island. Word up.
Listen,
so
oh,
Prodigy. So Prodigy's lyrics is not enough for him to override the commercial success of Biggie, Jay-Z,
listen,
and Nas. But it's
listen,
enough to override the
listen,
commercial success of 50 Cent and DMX.
listen. You had to be in New York when Shook Ones came out, son. You had to be in New York when Shook Ones came out, all right?
Listen,
Because that shit banged for like 3 summers, all
did
right? Anytime that shit came on, you knew what was up. You hear
It's
the
still
intro
banging.
to that shit, it's
oh, man.
ridiculous. It's
And
ridiculous,
D
man.
And
DMX.
let's not get hold on, Tyrone, because let's not get this twisted. All right, commercial success doesn't mean you are a good rapper. This was the conversation that I was recently. Yo, I'm glad y'all brought it up like in this way because this is a conversation that I wanted to have too, because I was thinking of certain names and I was listening to shout outs to DEFCON for the former podcast DEFCON Jive, and they were mentioning certain women rapper names, right? And I'm not trying to spin the table away from this too far, but they mentioned Foxy Brown, they mentioned Little Kim, they mentioned Eve, things like that, and people like that. We ever truly look at them as like, yo, they are dope rappers. Like we never really heard them like rap, but they performed the fuck out of their songs. But
Nah, Rod
and
Digger
people
could
put them up.
rap.
But no, right, and that's what I mean. But like, because there's people who can rap, but then there's people who made the success and the commercial acclaim and all of that stuff. But we don't really truly look at them as like, yo, they're amazing rappers though. Like, do we
No,
really look
because
at them?
we all knew Biggie was writing for Little Kim. You know what I'm saying? We all knew Jay was writing for Foxy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Jay and
So
Gabby.
we didn't look at it like that, but we look at it like a Rod Digger, a Rhapsody, a Jean Grey. You was like, yo, they rap, and you could tell they
right.
rap.
Like
Latifah
even
rap.
with some,
You know what I'm saying?
but even with some
Right.
respects, Nicki Minaj, like Brian mentioned in the comments, I was going to ask y'all if y'all seen that top 25 women's list. When I heard Nicki was on the top of it, I just already kind of knew, just like that BET black wrestler list, it's going to be skewed. But Nicki, we've heard rap.
Yes.
Like we've heard Nicki rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like rap.
Yes.
Not just do
mixtape
a
Nicki.
song.
Yeah, mixtape Nicki in her early days, she was a problem.
Right, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we've heard something, so it's like, yeah, but the difference in this image here that we've been discussing, like, is like, nah, we've heard whether some do better than others. I mean, some do a lot better than others on this list. Like, to me, if there's anybody, no disrespect to 50, but 50 is the worst rapper on this list. But we've heard all of these people rap. And I'm like rabbity rap. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Tyrone. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the point I was about to make is that 50 is the worst rapper on this list, right? He's the worst on this list. And I would not consider 50 Cent to be what I would think is a bad rapper. Man's pretty good. He's just not as good as the people on this list. So when we talking about it, we ain't talking about
Agreed.
So all of these guys can rap. So now, if all of these guys can rap and all these guys are good and some can rap better than others, but if commercial success is weighty enough, then does Prodigy rap skills overlap so much that he can overlap the commercial success of 50 Cent? He can overlap the commercial success of DMX?
For me, yes. For me, yes.
Tyrone, you know
No.
what? It's a tragedy here, and he should be on this list. And then it would have been a non-discussion. KRS-One. If KRS-One was on here, he'd be the fourth face, hands down.
Yes.
Hands down. It wouldn't even be a conversation.
Yes. But whoever
he
made this
didn't
is
have the
definitely
commercial
trying to.
success. He had a
It would
commercial
be a
success in the
conversation
Yes,
for
beginning.
he
me.
did.
In the
It would be a
beginning,
conversation
yeah.
for me because the commercial success is part of my criteria, and KRS-One did not have enough commercial success for me to be on that list. He did not.
Then okay, so then Jada should be on the list. Then Jada should be the fourth member, because Jada right now you listen to High 97, within the hour you're gonna hear Jadakiss' voice on there, and it's not gonna be a bullshit rhyme.
But what I'm saying about commercial success is why I picked LL, because LL milked his rap into other commercial success. I mean, it's all combined with it. It's because of rap that he been on
No,
TV.
right.
It's because of rap
But
that
if
he
you
got all
keep
those
it,
endorsements. I count that.
but if you keep it to just rap, but that's the
If I
thing.
keep
That
it
was
to
the
just
I
rap,
think, but
if
I
I
think
keep it
that
to
was the
just
point
rap,
that the brothers was trying to make, though.
okay. So
Is
if I
because
keep it to
if
just
you keep
rap,
it to just rap, LL still qualifies to be, or he to me
yes,
he is
yes.
the fourth still. He's the fourth
He,
still, in my
if
opinion.
I
Even
if I
if you
keep it to
keep
just
it at just rap.
if I keep it to just rap, LL still makes the list, but I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to put DMX up there because I'm sorry, Prodigy didn't have enough commercial success as DMX. 50
DMX,
Cent had 50 Cent did, but 50 Cent is not as good as a rapper. And Jadakiss to me
the
comes under that
dance
DMX
point,
tree.
the
If
dance
DMX
point,
didn't take
Rakim and DMX are eliminated.
if DMX didn't take that whole Rough Riders movement, that was DMX, dog. DMX took that whole Rough Riders movement. DMX made the locks, made Jadakiss, made all of that. DMX was the head, the spiral of that
Jadakiss got
Rough
to come
Riders
off too.
movement.
He's from Yonkers.
So
Jadakiss and DMX and
Oh,
Rakim are off the
so
list.
I would have
Yeah,
to
They're all from
yeah,
so
okay,
Yonkers.
yeah,
I would have to choose
yeah.
They're
DMX
all
in
from
that case.
Yonkers.
okay.
I would have to
Then you know
choose
what?
DMX.
Then LL.
But again, it says it, and we're not misconstruing anything. It says Mount Rushmore of New York City rap.
Yeah.
Yonkers is not New York City. Not
No.
Yonkers is our neighbor.
Yep.
Shouts out to
Upstate.
Yonkers. Niggas know how I got my start out of Yonkers. Long Island is Long Island. We call Long Island the sixth borough, but it ain't an official borough. They got
It's
their
not
own
part of New
mayor.
York City.
They got their own police forces. We don't take civil service exams out of New York City to get jobs in Long Island. They are their own thing.
However, we do take civil service tests in Long Island.
Yes,
Which is
from
weird.
Long Island.
Okay.
From Long Island.
No. I took sanitation and what you call it in Long Island.
That's probably what part? Because they must have just ran the test out there. Because you can live in New York. You can live as far as Orange County upstate and work for the city.
Yeah.
So DMX,
But
Rakim, and Jadakiss are disqualified.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not from New York
by
City.
definition. Yes.
Then we're back to L. So it's between Prodigy, LL.
Tyrone. I think
Coogee
we're all
Rap.
set on. I think we're all set on LL.
Yeah, because I can't. Y'all just technically
dispute
me
is-
to death.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know niggas don't count Staten Island, but we are an official borough, and they ain't got nobody from Staten Island up there. But I gotta get to this. I gotta get to this shit here because Brian says this shit a lot, and this shit needs to stop. So we can kick Jay out because he was stealing lines. Just saying. Jay has never had to really steal anybody's lines. This is a case of this is how I review Jay-Z hate when it comes to rap. This is equal to the Jordan LeBron hate. They want to hate on the next great because he's not the former great. Jay used to and Jay said it in a song. I only say big lines to big up my brother. And
That was a
that's
cop
it.
out.
And but when you do shit like that, here's the little thing business-wise that people don't get is when you do stuff like that and you use a line from somebody else and stuff, you're actually also getting that family paid because of writing credits and publishing and things like that. So for a Jay-Z to quote a Biggie line in a song, but he did multiple times for years. Yeah. No, but it's not that he stole it. Again, I'll say a big verse to only big up my brother.
Yeah, like
And
Biggie took him under the
it's not was
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were saying something.
No, I'm saying like Biggie took him under the wing. That was like his big brother almost. You know what I'm saying? Like they were tight that.
Jazzo and Kane, but then they were friends because technically him and Big were peers.
Yeah.
JP's debut was later than Big's. But again, think about it. If Jay didn't do something like that in a way to get Big's family paid and all that stuff, Jay would never have to use anybody else's bars or implement them in a song.
Real quick, Tyrone. Right. So listen to what you're saying, Dan. To piggyback off what you're saying, how come no one out of Big's camp ever said anything about why Jay-Z stealing what you call moms? They never heard that.
Never.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Never.
And then with that verse too.
Great.
And then with that verse too, it lets you know that it was only doing it to pay homage.
That's it.
There you go.
And the backdrop of it is helping the family still get paid. That's the backdrop. Like that's the back. You ain't supposed to see that.
Because the unwritten, it wasn't really put out there, but rumor was that Puff wasn't doing their family right. So
no surprise.
I don't care about it. I don't care about it because the concept is this, right? We hear other rappers use other rappers' lines all the time. They use other beats all the time. They use even the concepts. Some songs are conceptually the same as other songs. They just change the words around all the time. And I've learned that actors do it, football players do it. Everybody that's great takes from greats. Everybody wants to criticize Kobe because he modeled his game after Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? But Michael Jordan was the greatest who ever done it. If I'm going to play basketball, I'm going to model my game after Michael Jordan. So when they say, you stole his moves, you stole his lyrics, you stole his concept, you stole whatever, so what? If I stole his lyrics and I still made a good song, I made a good fucking song. I don't care.
You made your millions off of it.
I never criticized Jay-Z for using Biggie lyrics. I never criticized him for
Just to clarify.
I just thought that for a second, a little while, there was a little small time frame where it seemed a little excessive. You know what I mean? It was a little bit excessive for a small period of time. I was like, okay, my man, like, damn.
Brian was saying, I'm saying that he didn't mean to say to really hate, but he says not to hate. But if we're talking Mount Rushmore and there is only 4 slots and we got 3 slots locked up and they're peers, just a different outlook, not trying to hate. Yeah. I understand what you're saying, Brian, because it's like saying we put up a mirror match. We put up a mirror, Biggie and Jay. We put it, it's almost two of the same, even though they really weren't. They both had their different everything. They both had their different everything. Yeah, I think when Jay was first out there, he was fast rapping. He was doing that speed rap shit. Yep. He was diggity wiggity, all of that shit back then.
Yeah.
And was still nice with it. Not quoting no Biggie lines, not doing none of that shit. He quoted Biggie when he was already at the top. Like it was his it was every year it was Jay-Z's summer. Like Jay-Z held down quarters, if not multiple quarters in a year when he was coming
They
up.
kept East Coast rap alive. He was literally carrying New York on his shoulders at that point.
Yeah.
Yo,
But it goes back to that hate. It goes back to that Jordan LeBron hate when it comes to Jay-Z.
I'm
He
just disappointed
KRS
One is not on this list. I'm just really disappointed.
Whoever made this is a piece of shit.
Like, come on.
Yo, where's Busta on this list?
Like I said, yeah. Absolutely.
Busta's technically from Brooklyn. He came out in Long Island, but he's technically from Brooklyn.
Yeah, because he went to high school with Jay-Z.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know where this love for Busta comes from. Busta's corny to me. Like, I don't fuck with Busta at all. Like, on no levels. Like, I don't.
Not even early Busta Rhymes? Not in the new school?
I mean, I liked him in Scenario, and I liked a couple of joints, but I never really had a Busta Rhymes album that I thought was like a high level hip hop.
You are the first person I've ever heard say that.
I don't like Busta Rhymes.
Extinction Level of Mad Dogs?
No, he had 3 songs. He had 3 songs on that album that was good. The rest of that album I ain't really care for.
We were talking about non-skippables albums and rap music. Yeah, that was pretty close.
ELE, bro, was.
I mean, I can just say it. I can just say it and be honest with it. I don't like Busta Rhymes. That's just it. But I'm not a Tupac fan neither. So
neither am I.
Yeah,
I get ridiculed all the time for not liking Tupac.
No argument here. So you in the right club. You in the right club for that one.
I don't ridicule. But I'm not the biggest Pac fan either. But also too, because remember when we have these conversations, and everybody knows, everybody loves the top 5 conversation. Who's the top this? Who's the top that? Right? But this is why I create years, and I say this every time we have these conversations. Years ago, I just said when I started to realize, like, damn, I'm creating my top 5s, but I held Ice Cube to like top status for a long time.
Oh my god!
But then when I'm making top 5s, I would forget to mention them. That's why I create like, yo, there's my personal top 5, but then there's the legends. The people that don't need to be quantified by a number placement. You know what I'm saying? Because Big is not in my top 5. Pac was not in my top 5. Yet people swear, especially people of our age range, swear like you have to have them 2 in your shit. And if you don't have them 2 at 1 and 2, then you don't know what the fuck you talking about. And I'm like, nigga, excuse me, me, the person who defends the hip hop culture over everything. But that's why it's like, so that's why it's like Big, Pac, Jay-Z, even though Jay-Z's my number 2, KRS, Cool G, Rakim, fucking Black Thought, like Busta, like these people are of my legends. They don't need to be number placed.
Here's my fight back on that, right? And here's my fight back on that. I am under the belief that popular opinion does count as part of my criteria for making my list, right? So in my real world, in my new mind, body, and soul, Tupac wouldn't make my top 20 under no circumstances, right? But I have put Tupac in my top 10 only because in the world of popular opinion, he's number 1 or number 2. So I take that into consideration, and that's how Tupac has gotten. If I make a top 10 rap list, I put Tupac in there. It's not because I want him there. It's not because I think he deserves to be there, but I do take popular opinion as one of my criteria for
Tyrone, I agree with you 1,000%. Because he is not in my top 20 either. But I remember my Army days, man. We used to almost fight because Tupac was you don't talk about Tupac, boy. It was like talking about somebody's grandmother.
But see, that's where I fight back and say, fuck what your opinions are. And that's how these arguments always end up. Because I don't.
That's where
you got your
you.
Word.
Yeah, word. And it's like, cool, okay, popular opinion. Cool. Your popular opinion ain't my popular opinion.
Duck,
All right,
nigga.
let's do it. Let's do this now. 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 Shouts out to Brian. He said Pac is my number one. That's all good. My top five, and my top five has not changed in a long time. It's KRS-One. It's KRS-One. It's Jay-Z. It's Redman. And then in any given day, you can flip flop Sean Price and MF Doom. That's my five. And I'm not expecting nobody to fucking agree with my five.
No. But time out. Is that your personal?
Because fuck your personal. That's
opinion?
that's his personal.
That's
five.
my personal. I don't care about community assistance. That's why I do the Legends thing. If we have to have the conversation of community-based, everybody popular opinion, that's why I say I have a Legends side, because I don't care about quantifying them with a number placement. They are legends. They are greatness. They are certified, undeniable greatness. But I can't. It's like I don't want to sit there and judge one over the other when they've all contributed something that's been amazing to this culture and the world of rap. But for my five and my likes and my tastes, that's my five.
So that's why when I do these lists, right? When I do these greatest of all time lists, these GOAT lists of rap, I have my list, which is called my favorite rappers. That's how I categorize my top five list. That's mine. It's my favorite rappers, and Method Man and Ghostface are on that list. But when I do like my GOAT list, my top five GOAT list is Eminem, Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, and LL. And that's not my five favorite rappers. If I pick my top five favorite rappers, that wouldn't be the list. But to make a GOAT list of who I feel is the greatest of all time based on all those criteria, not my personal opinion, then that's my top five.
I could dig that. I could dig that, but that's why I say, like, for me, if you're adding them criterias, it's to me it personally feels unfair to try to place one above the other. That's why it's just like y'all are great. This is the greatness list. This is the I don't need to place you somewhere. But if you gotta do it, what's your five type shit?
Yeah. I can't. No, I would need some time to sit down and think about that, man. Because I agree with Tyrone is saying. You know, my personal top five can be different than, okay, these are the five that I consider the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I asked for. Right. That's what I asked for. Yours five. I didn't ask for I asked for your five.
If off the top of my head right now, you got to put Doom up there. You got to put Redman up there. Big, Nas, Jada. You know, that's yeah. That's my five.
My personal five, personal to me, my top five is Nas, is Big, Black Thought, KRS-One, and this is always tough. And G-Rap.
But
you didn't consider G-Rap to be in the Mount Rushmore.
They didn't have KRS-One there. That's what I was mad.
I'm gonna just use O's list as a prime example of what I'm talking about. I'm not disrespecting your list, but I'm saying to you that if you was having conversations with people in hip hop and they said, how would you justify saying that Jadakiss is one of the greatest rappers of all time? You know what I mean? You can't justify that. You can say you feel that way and that's your personal opinion, but it would be hard to justify
I'm
that.
Gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that right now. I'm gonna answer that right now because these are so all right. So when I say my favorite, these are my favorite rappers. These are the rappers that I enjoy listening to the most. Right? I enjoy listening to these guys the most. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're the greatest. Like I could put Chuck D up there because Chuck D, you know, he was like he's a pioneer when it comes to that whole political rap type shit, and he was able to cross over and be commercial still because he was always on the radio at the time.
But that's why I said I have two lists. I have a list of my greatest, my top 5 who I like, and then if I had to do a greatest of all time list, I have to consider other
Yes,
criteria other than me just loving that guy.
correct. Agreed.
Right, right, right,
Agreed.
right.
Yeah, there's no problem with it. But that's why I personally always try to implore people to like, you got have your 5. Fuck what everybody else says, have your 5. But then there's the legends. Like I said, there's the legends bracket. Like I always lead with, yo, this is the legends bracket. This is the legends side. They don't need to be quantified by a number. These guys can all be in somebody's top 10,
Okay.
top 20, top 5, whatever.
And I call that the cop out. Because if I say to
That's
you,
fine.
Dan, I went to top. If I say, Dan, I went to top 5 greatest rappers of all time, that's what I want. I don't want you to say, okay, I'm gonna exclude these guys because they on a legend.
And I'm giving you and for me, and like I said, my number 1, and just to answer that question in that way, my number 1 and number 2 are the ultimate 5-tool players in rap when it comes to rap, in my opinion. Off the top, they can do both. Both of them can do it. Can they make hits? They both made hits. They both made anthems. You know what I'm saying? They both made anthems. KRS-One defeated an entire
Yes.
borough.
Yes.
KRS-One defeated an entire borough.
Yeah.
Not many others can say that. Jay-Z, it's subjective, but you could say he defeated a lot of people's number 1 of all time in Nas. He did that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Take over with history. Going backwards in history, Takeover was better than Ether. Takeover was more truthful than Ether. Tybo Ho, 36 in the karate class. Like,
nobody remembers
he was
Takeover.
better.
Nobody remembers.
I'm sorry about that. Nah, I'm sorry, but I've heard these conversations on radio and things like that where a lot of people came back around and be like, wait a second, Takeover. If you really listen to Takeover again, see, if we were able to play their music over, we would sit here and do that.
Man,
we would sit here and do that, but we can't.
Radio ain't the streets, okay? Too many people is politicking on radio. If I called up a radio station right now and I was in the hip hop world, I would never say Nas beat Jay-Z. That's just like almost like suicide. So I ain't going off no fucking radio. I'm gonna be in my crib going Nas fuck them up. But if I
all right, y'all hanging your hat on one word. But I did say I've heard people on radio, and I understand. Yes, you want to play all of that stuff. So that turns into like Cannabis beat LL in the battle.
Yes.
LL won the war.
Yes.
Okay, that's the same. That's the same type of logic then that I would use on a Jay-Z verse.
Listen, LL had a bigger machine behind him than Cannabis did. So
LL won to me because LL took on Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson was still vicious and didn't care. He said, I heard that rapist on your song. What did he teach you how to do? How to bust another tooth? Yeah, that's what I do. I can't get over that. I can't get over that.
But LL won the war because from my opinion, it took LL like 3 or 4 more songs after to finally get over that second round knockout hump.
Yes.
And then you look at whose career still landed where when it came to rap.
So since we're talking about we're briefly talking about diss songs, right? I'm not going to talk about this for too long.
Yes, Brian.
We're not going to talk about this for too long, right? But y'all know how I feel about Not Like Us. It's documented. Watch the archives if y'all don't know how I feel about Not Like Us. Not Like Us in a calendar year. Okay, what's today's date? April 13th.
Kendrick won the battle and the war.
It's still in the top 10 on Apple Music. It is number 7. I just checked. Okay? So when we talk about one of the greatest diss songs ever, again, I am hanging my hat. I'm hanging my hat. I'm looking for a place to hang my hat. It is one of the best diss songs
You folding?
Now-
One
You
of the
folding
top.
on me, oh? You folding
Say
on
again?
me, oh?
No,
You
I
folded
always
on me?
said not like us.
Because I
man.
was gonna say because he said this that might be number one of all time. And we never sat here and said it's not one of the best diss songs
Oh
ever.
man, Warner Wolf.
You
Where's Warner
said number
Wolf?
one.
Let's go to
You
the
said number
videotape.
one. You said you said number. This could arguably be the greatest ever. You did say that.
Okay, so, all right.
You
So
said
what's
this.
what's the difference
Yeah,
between
no,
greatest ever and number one?
No, bro. You folded on me, oh. You folded on me, man.
no, 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 no,
What
no.
did I say?
Because
What
see,
did I
here's
say?
the thing, Brian. Here's the thing, Brian. We know it's in the conversation. But best ever, tried to get that off on us. When it came like that, he said going down in history, this could be the number one. And we never said it couldn't be within the top 5. It's
Oh man,
in the top 5
y'all
conversation.
Yeah.
had me after the show. I was really like, damn. Do I know rap music?
I know. You know what?
No, but you know what it was? You know what it was from my point of view? You know what it was from my point of view, though? It was at the time, it came off very prisoner of the moment. But now at the time, but as we sit back and we can, for me, this could be number 2 or number 3. And I say that no Vaseline. He dismantled one person. No Vaseline dismantled an entire crew, record label, to where they did 100 miles and running, and then that whole shit broke the fuck up. Ice Cube destroyed fucking Ruthless Records.
Yeah.
I have respect. I have respect for the song. I have respect for the impact of the song. I have respect for it being still number one and all that shit that old saying. But I do not like that song. And I, for the life of me, do not understand why this song is just so great and so beloved by all these people when I really personally
It's an anthem.
I don't like the song.
Sir.
I've never listened to that song all the way through again. Every time I hear it, I turn it off. I can't stand that song.
Because he kicked Drake's ass. And he stood on Drake's diss track. He kicked Drake's ass.
Bro,
Drake
when I
ain't my
tell you
man,
that man
though.
dissected this man in like
And
song.
dude, and TJ, and we've sat here and we've said this too. I know I've said it on here. Meet the Grams was a better diss track than Not Like Us. To me, Meet the Grams was a better diss record.
The beat was crazy for that song. So
Again, I was talking to my brother about the song yesterday, man. Not Like Us is so popular that let's say, for instance, you hear it on the radio, right? And you've never tried to recite the song at all. You listen to that song on the radio right now, and you will be able to recite that song word for word and be like, "Oh shit, I didn't know I knew that song."
Yeah,
That's
but
how much they
let's
played
keep
that
it.
song.
This is true, but let's keep it real. What do people really look for out of that song? There's 2 things.
Well, you talking about probably A minor and
Okay.
Say Drake, I heard you like I'm young. That's it. That's what everybody looks for. And then A minor. That's it.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so I'm saying when you think about it on a diss track level, lyrics and all of that shit, like it hit. But like to what Tyrone's point, and I'm gonna throw this back on Tyrone because he said Drake did a better diss track because his shit you can dance to. Not Like Us had a fucking entire Super Bowl and 125 million people. A minor and dancing to the joint.
It's a dance
So
song.
that meets your criteria.
He did.
He meet your criteria, but you don't like the song.
This is how I'm gonna break it down, right? The song is not the popularity of the song is not based on it being that great of a diss song in my world. Oh, well, I'm muted. Oh no, listen.
No.
Oh, because I'm gonna tell y'all why. My daughter Bahia is 9 years old, right? I got a 9-year-old child that claims to love that song, claims to love it, right? But she doesn't hear it in my house. She doesn't hear it from me. She don't hear it from Apple Music or nothing. She heard parts of the song on TikTok. She doesn't understand that it's a diss record. She doesn't understand nothing that Kendrick's talking about. She likes the song because it's on TikTok and it's blowing up on TikTok, and she dances to the little TikTok dances they made for it and everything else. So a lot of the popularity of that song is not based. A lot of the popularity of that song is not based on the other being a good diss record.
So you're saying that it transcends it being a diss song, is what you're saying.
Yes,
Right.
because my 12-year-old for months after, well, it's only been a couple months after the Super Bowl, she was watching that fucking Super Bowl performance every single fucking day.
On YouTube?
Yes. Yes. So yes, it's transcended. It's transcended in generations and transcended a level of music listeners and stuff like that. But when you really listen to it, we are hip hoppers, we are rap heads, we know what a diss track should be. That was a diss track.
Correct, Ether.
Ether, yes. I was on the I was of the for a long time. Yes, Ether beat Jay-Z, beat Takeover. But when you go back and listen again, this all I'm saying is different. It hits different. Some of these songs hit different.
But like you said,
Ether definitely had the moment.
Karis went shitted on the entire borough. All right.
Off of a mistake. Right. Off of a mistake. Off of a mistake. Think about that too. It was off of a mistake. It was the mistake of thinking MC Shan had said that we started. No, he said I would like to give you a story
Because of Mr.
at the end
Magic.
again of how it all got started way back when. The monument is right in your face. Sit and listen for a while about the name of the place. Like he thought he took it like like they were trying to say Queen started this hip hop shit. And that birthed KRS-One. That birthed the explosion of KRS-One and BDP.
And the transcending of that song takes away from the diss record. You know what I mean? We know diss records for being diss records. The transcending of that song takes the diss part kind of out of it because it's not transcending because it's a diss record. It's transcending because of me and because of what people. No, not for my 9-year-old daughter. And for all those kids that's on TikTok that's dancing to it, it's not transcending because it's a diss record. They don't know it's a diss record.
I know. I didn't know. They know because Say Drake. I heard you like him young. Like you named your opponent in the record. They know it's a diss record.
My daughter is 9. She don't give a fuck about Drake or Kendrick or who's talking about who or none of that. She don't even know she don't even listen to half of the lyrics.
But
all she knows
but I guarantee you she's saying Say Drake. I hear you like I know she's saying Say Drake. I hear you like him young.
She don't care about it.
In the Super Bowl saying it.
Right.
She don't care.
So all right,
she's
so goes to
going. My 9-year-old daughter's not coming in my room going, yo, Kendrick killed Drake. No, she's going, hey, you heard this Kendrick song? She's dancing, bro.
Right, yeah, I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's she doesn't understand the gravity and the magnitude of the quote unquote diss track and the diss moment. She doesn't understand that because she doesn't grasp all of that shit yet because she's not involved yet. But we know. But like Brian says, so. Yes. Can we say it's the biggest dish? Yeah, I could say that it's the biggest record ever for the way it exploded. It's not the best. It's not the best. I'll give that to you, Brian, and definitely you, O. Is it the biggest? Absolutely. 125 million people watch that shit live at the Super Bowl. That is bigger than what Ice Cube did. But it's not better.
No.
It's not for me. Right. For me, it's not a better diss record.
And the timing too, because you got to understand too, we live in a different world. If Ice Cube dropped No Vaseline in 2025, man, I don't know, the world would explode, man. Like it's a different time too. People have so much access to this
Listen.
music.
Listen, he couldn't say shit about the president of the United States. He couldn't say shit about the vulgar shit about, you know, the gay shit, all that shit that he put in there. Like, that shit would be banned in like 9 states. All right, you couldn't even play half that shit. He'd be canceled. That the Death Certificate album would be canceled. I want to kill Sam. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're talking. You're talking
Korea.
the song. We're talking the diss track though. We're talking No Vaseline. We're not just talking about him as a as a rapper. Would be it would be hard to get off the ground right now. I mean, not to actually no, because if it was on the right side of history, then he would be just fine.
Yo, so Eminem got the Death of Slim Shady LP, right? And he ain't canceled, and he said some crazy shit on that album. So is that because he white or what?
Yes.
Nah, I think
I love Eminem, but yeah, a lot of the shit he don't get this. He don't get nearly half the same criticism when he's on stage screaming "fuck Donald Trump."
Yeah, let's call for what it is.
Yeah. Then they're trying to come for his money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And two, he was right on the cusp of like he was still using words like retard and faggot and all that shit. Like these are words now that is worse than saying shit and fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Used for educational purposes only, people.
Just for educational purposes only.
We're not.
I don't. These words are not in my vernacular. I just wanted to throw it out.
It's like I'll never be politically correct. Fuck y'all.
Well, you know, no. But you know how I think. Oh, go ahead.
It's just crazy that you know we're talking. I mean, and I'm veering off a little bit, but it's just talking about. It's just like words like fuck was the number one word that you say. It's like you know, and now you use other words like the R word or the other F word, and it's like people stop in the street and like, whoa, what's going on?
Oh, think about it. At one time, 2 Live Crew and NWA was getting threatened to be kicked off the stages because say one cuss word too many and we're shutting the show down.
Mm-hmm. But then, even now, to write a white character to say the word nigger, it better be one or two ways. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be like the racist, or it's got to be like I said it by accident shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be
or you deliver it in a well-crafted joke that means something and is not being used derogatory.
Right.
But
that's the gray matter right there. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that,
I don't know how y'all feel, but how I feel when I'm doing my show, when I'm doing a Listen podcast is, I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because if they do, if there's an attempt, for me, I go like this. If there's an attempt to cancel me, that's going to make me more popular than my show is. Because why are you trying to cancel me? I ain't nobody. So if there ever was an attempt or a campaign to say, hey, we got to cancel this dude, I'm going to get more viewership being canceled than I'm going to get doing my show. So I don't
be like, sorry, y'all, Lisper can't come to the show this week.
I do put disclaimers out. Listen, when I put, and people go, oh, you care about, when I tell people I don't give a fuck about being canceled because I ain't nobody to cancel yet, people go, oh, you put disclaimers on your show all the time. Yeah, I do. I put disclaimers on my show for my wife and my children because I use the word bitch a lot. And I call a lot of women bitches when I'm talking on my show. So I have to say, I don't mean bitch for real. I'm not trying to be disrespectful because I got daughters and a wife that go, damn, why you keep calling women bitches? So that's the disclaimer. It ain't for me to try to get canceled or not. It's for my daughter and my wife to know that I don't mean it in a derogatory way. It's just how I grew up talking. You know what I mean?
And I'm totally with you. I'm with you because like you just said, yo, for us to, or for either of us, for any of us here to air quotes get canceled, that means you're actually paying attention to us.
Right.
That part. And not to mention, Tyrone, if you was to ever get canceled, and whatever. If you was ever gonna cancel a band, I'm gonna let you know. We're gonna milk the shit out of that shit. It's gonna be a big,
Yeah,
a big X, and we be like, yeah, Tyrone ain't here because he got canceled. So y'all.
No, we're gonna be like, look, we right here. This is the guy you thought you was gonna cancel, but guess who's still giving them the platform? Guess who's still giving them the platform? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm gonna help y'all milk it. I'm gonna come on this show and I'm gonna pull a whole. I'm sorry that I made people feel some type of way. I'm gonna have tears and everything, man. We definitely gonna milk that shit.
Come on with the hoodie and the mask.
With the disguised voice, he's talking to the voice.
Banned from TV.
Witness protection, Lisper.
Yo, I'm gonna be like, oh, used to be in the dark.
Oh, you took it back.
But speaking of being canceled, though, and this will be the one political thing we'll get into today because we got to get to some of these NBA firings. But you see how quick grand opening, grand closing, them fucking tariffs, the tariff situation with this orange asshole and the rest of the world. Like, this guy and his administration, they just clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I'll just stop and say it like this. When you're blanket tariffing every fucking piece of land within this world, so far so that you went as far as, and let me get it, the Heard and McDonald Islands. You're placing 10% tariffs on the Penguins, nigga. You're placing tariffs on the fucking Penguins. What the fuck did Happy Feet do to us? What the fuck? Like Brian said, he folded faster than a hooker with $100K in front of her. You fucking right, he did. What do y'all got to say about this whole tariff situation that's been going on, man? This shit has been insane. 135% or 145% on China. Like, what is wrong with you?
He fucked up the stock market so bad. So bad. It's going to take a minute for it to recover, too. Then when he dropped the tariffs, the market shot back up. And then he was bragging about, oh, this guy made a couple of $100 million today. This guy made another $200 million.
And that was the play, I think, was what it was all along. And this is what I think. You'll go in this. I'll get you in a second, Tyrone. But this is what I think the whole play was in general.
Yes.
Make these things crash, so the top of the 1% can buy up everything. Because how many times has Donald Trump been shut down in the past for building potential monopolies and getting them shit squashed? But that's exactly what he's putting in place right now, in play for all of these motherfuckers who are the billionaires and billionaires and trillionaires to do, is to own everything.
He's getting his cut, and and they're telling him what to do and what not to do. He's not running shit.
Shit was set. I mean, this dude, he's bombastic, he's loud and obnoxious and everything, but he set shit in motion months before he got in office. By making sure that he pretty much got immunity, to do whatever the hell he wanted to do. He can't get prosecuted. So now him doing this, it's like, okay, yeah, the smart ones, we see what the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it looks like inside trade. It looks like market manipulation. But what we're going to do about
100%.
What?
Right.
My two thoughts of this. My first thought is that I still go with what I went with the first time Trump ran. Trump don't really want to be president of the United States. He don't really want to run the country. He got lucky the first time. He got it unexpected and he acted a fool. Then he lost. And then he said, let me see if I can do it again. Everybody's supposed to hate me now. And his narcissistic mind says, everybody hates me now. So I'm gonna run again and see what happens. Everybody likes Kamala, everybody likes Joe Biden, and I got blamed for everything. Everybody hates
No,
me.
Tyrone.
And he won again. Hold on. And he won again, and he's just taking this whole thing for a fucking joke. He's just doing whatever the fuck he wants because he takes this whole thing for a fucking joke. But even if that's not the case, Trump is doing something that I do. I can't knock him for it because I do it all the time. Case in point, if my wife might say, hey, I want to paint the kitchen. I want the kitchen to be painted purple or because she loves purple, right? And I sit here and I go, I ain't painting this motherfucking kitchen purple. I ain't painting this kitchen purple. And I resist it, right? But then guess what? My dumb ass will do something like throw a pot or something in anger and put a hole in the wall in the kitchen. Now I done put the hole in the wall in the kitchen, and my wife is going, you done fucked up the kitchen. It's a hole in the wall, blah, blah, blah. And what do? I fix the hole and I paint the kitchen purple. And now she comes on, oh, you painted the kitchen purple. Oh, I love you so much. And I only painted it purple because I put the hole in the fucking wall. And now I fixed the hole. And now I painted it purple because I know you wanted it purple. And now guess what? I'm the hero. When all of this shit is just something I did purposely to make her feel better when I know that I fucked it up in the first place. And that's what Trump is doing. He's fucking shit up and then fixing it. And everybody goes,
Yeah.
Shit is right.
No.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Nah, TJ, TJ. I mean, his description slightly off, but he's right in what Trump is doing. Trump is doing shit on purpose, fucking shit up to then make himself look like a hero. When realistically, the real ones, like O said, the people who fucking know, the smart ones, we know that that's the game. We see right through his game, but it's what can we really do about it?
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I was saying was he got out all the people. His first term, they had people in his administration with common sense, so his own people shut him down. This time around, there's the leash is off the dog, bro. The leash is off the dog. He set it up for the Supreme Court. He set it up for his aides. He set it up for everybody he's got in his cabinet. The leash is off. There's nobody to tell him no or somebody to go behind his back and be like, nah, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing that's going to be their downfall is their entitlement and such nonchalantness, especially just with the last shit with the getting the reporter on the text messages. There's going to be some dumb shit like that that's really going to put their shit on Front Street. And they're still going to try to find a way to walk that shit down. But it'll be too egregious. It'll be too egregious because the only thing that's stopping them is them. And they're doing a good job of it.
Right. Like the guy, I forgot his name, but you see them giving the I don't give a fuck type of momentum and mentality by way of the guy who was technically a legal citizen. Like he's legal to be in this country. I think he was an asylum seeker at one time. Excuse me for forgetting the guy's name. But they rounded him up. They shipped him off to fucking Ecuador or El Salvador. But the courts was just like, no, y'all have to bring him back. And this was earlier this week. It was like, y'all have 48 hours to bring this guy back. And it got to the deadline. And I don't think they even brought this guy back still yet. Because they were on some like, yo, yeah, they try to say they can't, they pull some shit. Yeah, they can't bring him back because now he's under El Salvador rule and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, but the judges are still like, no, but that was their loophole of getting out of trying to do what they're supposed to do and bringing this motherfucker back. Well, which henceforth it just says.
They're also trying to take the power out of the judges' hands now. Did you see that?
So real quick, real quick,
let me get some.
Yo, this is not. I gave $15. I gave $15, right? I know this is not $15 worth of ice cream right here, man.
What?
I know we're going through some shit, but God damn.
You got robbed for change, sir. You got robbed.
Yo, y'all. I know this is off topic, but y'all see the prices of the food at the Masters? I would love to go to the Masters and eat there. Man, that food is cheap as I don't know what. It's like $3 sandwiches, $6 beers. $2 fucking wood. Like the masters give you.
Yeah,
You can eat
because
there
you
for
know what?
$10.
They paid like $5,000 a head to attend the Masters. Dog.
Right. Right.
They
I'm
know they
just
ain't got
And
no
saying.
look
more
at
money left,
and
dogs.
and
Got no more
and
money
look
left.
who's the clientele going to the Masters.
That part.
Gotta make shit look good for our people.
Mhm.
Well, you don't want to go. I'll shoot. If I had a chance to go to the Masters, I'm going to that shit.
Yeah, it'll be on the company dime, sir.
That's about it.
That's your
Right.
chance. Good luck.
But back to the Trump thing, right? So is there a thing where like, can we just believe that like this man could just be saying, "Hey, I'm the president of the United States. I'm gonna do some shit, and if it don't work, I could just take it back." You know what I mean? It seems like he's living under that. I can do it, and if it
That's what
don't work,
he's.
I'll just take it back.
But
And
that's
no
what no.
harm,
But
no
that's what
foul.
he's. No. It's harm and it's foul. But I'm gonna get
is.
back to the harm part. But no. That's exactly what he's trying to do. It's only been a few months. How about that? We went through so many ups and downs and roller coasters, and it's only been a few fucking
It's been a
months.
couple of months.
Yeah, we got 3 more years of this shit.
It's only been a few months. And right now it's just him continuously poking the bear, testing the waters of him trying to say, like, I'm the ultimate rule and what I say goes. And then he got all his minions talking up for him, trying to say, yeah, it should be what the president goes, what the president says. But we have a select few judges that are still like, nah,
Bro,
But they're still finding their loopholes and defying those judges.
we're going beyond that because your man going to 3rd term.
Which again, they're trying to write it to where a president can go for a 3rd term, and yeah, he wants the 3rd term. The air quotes is the he meaning the people who wrote all the shit for him that he's enacting right now. Remember when people tried to say Project 2025 wasn't real, but yet what is this motherfucker doing? He's playing the Project 2025 / Nazi handbook to a fucking T. In so many fucking ways. This man is pulling that. And like I say, the bad is the retaliatoriness of some of these tariffs, right? But shouts out to all the other countries out there that are putting the retaliatory tariffs back on us because they're doing it the way that it should be done. They're going directly at the red states who voted for his ass. They're not taking it out on everybody. So us as New Yorkers,
we're good.
We should be all right. To
California
a point,
is good.
We should be all right.
Texas
But
is a big ass red state.
Canada hit us
and
with
allegedly
tariff.
they got the money.
Yeah,
And Canada and see they and they pull tariff, and Canada kind of pulls some shit back also too because Canada, like the U.S. knows Canada can shut down half of New York State right now, turning off the electric to us.
Is that smart?
They
though?
can turn it would
Do Canada
Why
really
is it
wanna
smart?
bust that move?
I
Canada
would
bust that
fucking
move,
do
bro.
it. I would
Canada
do
wanna
it
bust that
because
move, 'cause
why?
Listen.
No.
There's not going
You
to be too
wanna
many
do it.
Americans that's going to fight Canadians, dog. If you thinking that,
No, but
you're
it's
wrong.
not. Yo, but it's not the fight. It's not the fight. It's the. This is and it's Canada saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, people. This ain't our fault. He did
Well,
that to y'all."
I
That's
feel
exactly
like
what this is. He did that to y'all, especially again, like you got places like China and the UK and stuff like that who are putting tariffs on red states. Again, the red states who need our fucking money to survive.
Yes, yeah. So
let them fucking suffer because this is what they voted for.
Yeah. So this lady was on IG, and she's from Nebraska. She's a cattle rancher, right? And she said, because the way the farmers are getting fucked, she's getting fucked too. She said, we'll be bankrupt in 6 months. I was like, but you voted against your own interest. She said, I can't get no hands to work the ranch or nothing like that. I didn't think he would take our people. No, bitch. He's taking everybody.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
And then you think they're not coming back. They're not going to come back. Not after this bullshit. They'll be going forever. 4 years is a long time for you. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to buy these ranches out. The government's going to take back over the property, and it goes to the highest bidder. And now your shit is fucked up. You fucked it up for everybody.
I just don't think that would be a good move for Canada, because if you do that, the United States has to retaliate, and you don't know what that retaliation is going to be. I mean, it could be a war, and Canada don't want to go to war with the United States. I don't think they want to do that.
Go ahead.
I understand you. That's the extreme of the extreme. I understand you. But it's only right for these countries to fight back against what this asshole is deciding to do. This
Also,
asshole. He's trying to blame. Sorry, TJ. He's trying to blame a place like Canada for fucking fentanyl coming into this country. Do you know how many seizures of fentanyl that they actually do? It is way smaller than what they assume. And they damn near grab everything that comes through. But because they put this boogeyman in the air, that's what they got people believing. What they think Mexico is doing, what they think with Mexico. That's why I was saying this to my wife yesterday, I think, or a couple days ago. Shouts out to countries like Mexico, man, for giving every single traveler that goes there a hard ass fucking time. Now you got to pay extra money to fill out hours and hours worth of applications just to go on vacation there. When before it was just as simple as, here's my passport.
Yep.
Thank you for letting me in.
Ago.
Now you got to fill out all types of applications and stuff, certify, let them know who exactly the fuck you are. You got to bring all types of different documents. This is what he did. He decided to do this because of the fucking false boogeyman's that he put out there onto American people. So yeah, we deserve all of this shit happening to us.
Tyrone, he also disrespected them by keeping on calling them the 51st state. That's wild disrespectful.
Hey, I know it's disrespectful, but I'm saying to you, do y'all think that this man is really under the mentality of so for years we've been saying United States is the greatest country in the world, we the best country in the world, best country to live in, all this and all that, right? And I'm not playing devil's advocate or nothing, I'm just saying, could there be something in his head that says, you know what, we the greatest country in the world, and I'm gonna stand on business. I'm out to prove that to everybody, and this is how I stand on business, and this is how I prove that we're better than everybody else.
Hold on, Dan.
You know what I mean? Could that be this man's mentality, that's why he's doing this as a proof that we're better than everybody else, and we don't need him?
Tyrone, if he goes to war with Canada, you think Canada's fighting by itself? They have allies.
Canada don't offer nobody
allies.
Forget that part for a second, because let's not put war into this shit. So what Tyrone's saying is Trump is trying to say, yeah, America is great, but also he knows that for what he's trying to pull off, America cannot do this shit. There's a reason why these companies outsourced all their shit. There's a reason why most of this country's income is based off of import export, because we can't produce. Why he's going after Greenland, which is one of the dumbest things possible, but it's smart, but it shouldn't happen, because think about it like this. You got the co-president Elon Musk, and yeah, he got Tesla factories and stuff out there, but a lot of the stuff you need to make the batteries, guess where they're at? They're in the places like the Ukraine. They're in places like Greenland. That's why it looks silly, but he's targeting Greenland for a reason. So make them a part of America. Now we have free reign to go over there to dig up everything we need. Cuts out an import export because now they're American. Same thing with Canada. We get a bulk of our lumber. That's why anything involving wood is going to shoot upward, because Canada gave us the bulk of our lumber. What did they export from us the most? Liquor. Whoop de fucking do. But they put, we export from them, we import from them. We need lumber to build, to make houses, to make this and that. There are forests and stuff and trees and stuff that they could cut, but now you have to now just disintegrate like your whole fucking national park system to get to some of that wood, just to cover what Canada it gives to us.
Right.
And Canada knows that, and Canada's been our ally forever. We're all North America. Canada, Mexico, we're all North America. Yep. But you want to pick fights with these people and call them the 51st state. Yeah, you want them so we can get access to their resources without the extra shit. The game ain't that hard, people. The game, and we see right through his bullshit. And but y'all fucked up with the vote, and we could have stopped this shit.
Also too, right? Tyrone mentioned, United States America being the greatest country in the world, and da 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 da. He can say that. He can say that if most of his constituents, most of his base, never left the fucking country. So how the hell would they know? So I mean that part too.
And a lot of these other countries too, they're saying, how are we the greatest country in the fucking world when we're the only country that's gotta pay for fucking, we're not the only, but we gotta pay the most for fucking healthcare, where everybody else gets healthcare as a human right. Think about this shit. They think we're stupid. Only stupid people are the people who voted for this fucking monkey because they believed in racism. Straight up and down.
They're trying to keep it alive. But what you were saying with these people never leave the country, right? So there was a statistic out. 42% of the entire United States own a passport. And out of that 42%, only 38% left the country.
Wow.
So that's less than half of the entire United States that has a passport. And even less than that travel outside the United States.
That's crazy.
Why are you even owning a passport if you don't intend to leave the United States?
Right. I guess it's a form of ID. Like I don't.
That's one, but part of it also too is think about the financial bind that this country already puts us in, to where I got a passport, we can't afford to get up and go. We have them for the times that we were able to, but not everybody can afford to get up and go annually all the time. At least annually. You know what I'm saying?
You are absolutely right.
So fuck this dude. I say personally, fuck this country to a point because they stay fucking us over.
He's also attacking the lawyers that had anything to do against suing him or going against him. He's attacking law firms now, bro. This shit is insane, bro. This shit is insane.
Like I said before the election even happened, this guy is going for king. He's not trying to just be president. He's going for king. He's going for some grand ruler shit. Listen, and it's evident in his actions right now.
Did you see the Obama interview where he said, imagine if I did just ban the press from the Oval Office? Imagine if I just did that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, imagine if I just did that.
You know what he was trying to say.
They wanted to hang that man because of
laughing, but he was people were laughing, but he said people were laughing, and Obama said, no, I'm serious. Like, imagine if I just did that. This is what this man is able to get away with. If he did anything else, if he wrote 90,000 fucking executive orders, shut down the Board of Education, Republicans would have been like, no. No.
Yep.
This is insane, bro. This is insane. Laying off federal workers left and right.
Dude.
Yeah, that would have never happened.
And this motherfucker RFK Jr. is about, this motherfucker RFK Jr. is about to possibly ban all vaccines. I was listening to a show riding home last night, and This motherfucker had said in a press conference that by September or by November, he's going to deliver what's the cause of autism. And let me repeat, is either by September or by November, this man said he is going to deliver the reasons why we have autism. Because when he was younger, there was 1 out of 10,000 people who had autism. And now the numbers are less, and there's a reason why.
And he knows it.
This motherfucker is, yo, they are on the path of having, and this is what I think was old school conspiracy theorist in me seeing this shit, that this is population control in effect in our faces.
You seen it in the outbreak of measles. The outbreak of measles is crazy right now.
So, son, the outbreak of and the family who said that they were anti-vaccines and remained anti-vaccines after their fucking child died.
Yeah.
But wait, so I'm not understanding that, because if you're trying to eliminate vaccines, right, and you figure out what's the cause of autism, then to fix it, you would need a vaccine, or you telling these people
Tyrone,
that if your child...
Tyrone, listen, stop for a second. Listen to you're a guy who has no medical background, not even a doctor, might have passed science class in school, is telling you that he knows the reason why autism is a thing.
That's the part
yeah. And he's been trying to claim, BSly by the way, but he's been trying to claim that us getting vaccinated against other diseases that, have worked for decades is the reason why we have autism today. But you're willing to take this. You're willing to take this? Are you telling me that you're willing to take this from a guy who has no reason? This is from a guy who has no reason to be running health anything. This is the equivalent of This is the equivalent of a sanitation worker telling me, and this is fact, I will not put air in a tire because I read an article about a tire blowing up.
But here's the illogical thing about it, right? So we have vaccinations from diseases that will kill us. So now you're saying that, you rather people die than people get autism? Because it's like, if the vaccination
that's what this nigga say. Yes, so that's what I would say.
So why would this be logical to Americans to go, oh, good, let's get rid of vaccines. Okay, so we're going to prevent autism, but we're going to kill 1 million people.
But measles might take you out, though.
Yo, you know what I mean? And it's worse than older people. It's worse than older people. And niggas going to walk around with the mumps? You want mumps?
But this is the thing, Tyrone, because you're feeding. He's feeding into the base of conspiracy theorists who believe this. Now, is there some kind of contributor? There has to be. There has to be some kind of contributor from somewhere. But if it is a vaccination, what is the vaccination?
No, so Dan, let me ask you. So would getting a vaccination be an option? Like, you go to your podiatrist with your kid, it's like, hey, you want these vaccinations? Or no, you don't want these vaccinations? Or is vaccination not an option at all?
Right. Because you know what? Here's the thing.
Getting a vaccination so the insurance companies can ram that shit up your ass.
Here's the thing, Tyrone. Here's the thing, TJ. Like, I'll tell you from my personal standpoint. I personally, I don't do the flu vaccine. That's just me. I don't do the flu vaccine. Okay.
I don't need,
because when you get the flu vaccine is a strain of the flu that is definitely it helps some people, but it's weaker than the strain that's actually running around people's bodies.
Right.
That's not something that like anybody shouldn't know already. Okay, so we're not adding to no conspiracy, but we can kind of sit here and say the COVID moment that we just went through kind of aided to a lot of the conspiracies now, because I tell you personal experience, I wanted to wait. I didn't want to get that vaccine right away because I understand from medicine, there's things that, yeah, we've all taken in life, but there were things that we you have to take to get into school and shit like that. But those things have been proven for decades, if not centuries before us, that they actually work. The COVID shit felt brand, so you know, the COVID shit to a lot of us felt brand new. And it's like, whoa. We want to see what side effects are looking like and things like that. But then you have the city of New York you got to get this or else you can't get you lose your job. And then you want to know what the fuck happened? Okay, COVID has kind of been tamed. You don't have to get the vaccine no more. So now everybody that they fired from not getting the vaccine, guess what? They either had to get rehired or the city's gotten sued behind this shit.
Right.
Because people stood on it. So people had some things like, and I think the COVID thing really set off a lot more of the speculations and trepidations behind vaccinations as a whole. But you got this fucking quack who don't know shit about this nigga is, I read an article. Trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing though. So my niece is autistic, and from our understanding, we found out when she was a baby because she wasn't talking right at the time. She was supposed to be making sounds and talking and picking up on languages. So they said she was autistic. And from my understanding, she was born that way. So it wasn't a vaccination or anything that made her that way. And the other thing too is we get vaccinated at different periods of time. Like Dan said, when I take my kids to school, they got to get certain vaccinations before they start their school year. So are you trying to tell me that if I took my 8-year-old daughter when she's 8 and she's already normal to go get vaccinated, that she can end up autistic after that? Like, that don't make no sense, bro. Like,
that's what that's like yo, Tyrone, they're acting like, yo, it's and you know how many walks of life that they're attacking, that they think that like this just automatic, like shit just turns you that way. Like really, like we see a gay person on TV, all of a sudden that's gonna make me say, you know what? I want to start sucking some. No, people are born this way. In many walks of life, people are born this way. And yes, I've said it from the homosexuality aspect to even the autism, to other or what we used to call retardations.
Well,
for education
I had
purposes only, not calling anybody retards. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like we all knew people who had certain learning disabilities and things like that were born that way.
And the thing with the gay thing, right? So they always got to go like, oh, he was influenced as a child by his uncles, whatever. And my uncle was gay, right? And I saw him with his boyfriend and all that, and when I was a child, since I was a baby, right? But I never liked it. Like, even as a child, I didn't like that shit. When I seen my uncle with his boyfriend, I didn't think like, oh, maybe I should do that. Like, it didn't influence me at all. Because when I started liking girls, I liked girls, and nothing my uncle did or said or was involved in changed the fact that I was attracted to females.
And you didn't love your uncle, and you didn't love your uncle no less either.
No, that was my uncle.
Because that's family.
Ty, so listen, it started way before then, right? I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I was at the pool a few years back, right? And the lady was walking with her son. Dude was like 2 years old, 3 maybe tops, right? And he's staring at this chick in a bikini. And she was like, oh my God, don't stare at her like that. And I was like, hey, you lucky staring at a girl. And she was like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? It clicked. It fucking clicked. I was like, yo, don't stop your man from appreciating shit. He's young. He likes what
teach him how to do it respectfully.
But I said it to her like that. I was like, hey, at least she knows what he likes. And she was like, oh, like the fucking clock, it clicked immediately. Usually, if you walk, if it was a dude and he was staring there like that, walking around in Speedo, I'm like, hey, He likes what he
Yeah, but
likes. You know what I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Nobody told me or forced me to have that tingle in my body. When I got a certain age, I started looking at certain dudes in school and I got that tingle. That's what that is. If I would have got that
Nothing
tingle
beats the
from boys,
tingle.
if I would have got
Nothing
that
beats
tingle
that.
from boys, I'd be gay right now. I didn't. I got that tingle from girls. That's it.
And the point again, for educational purposes only, people. The point that we're describing is it's just like, yo, like we they don't like the fact that they don't understand we are born this way. A lot of us, you know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of beyond functioning people, people that I'm friends with. I made friends with within the past 2 years just on TikTok alone, fully functional adults who have a bit of autism. And I don't say that disrespectfully, because sometimes I step back and question, like, maybe I've had a bit of the tisms, you know, because like I get to, like, if I get into some shit that I like and I can lock in, where it's like, if you ever see somebody with autism work and move, like when they lock into some shit, they're invested until they're done.
Dead. No lie, bro. I question myself. I'm like, am I on the spectrum? You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
like like, and we don't say it on some disrespectful shit either. It's just like, yo, there's
I just be
there's
like,
certain
God
tendencies
damn.
of shit that we do that you never, like, us getting
You gotta
smarter
question
over the
yourself.
years, right?
Yeah.
Us getting smarter over the years. It's like, wait, maybe I got to go to the doctor to get diagnosed to see if this is legit. Like,
This shit is out of hand right here.
So I had this one. I went up to New York territory, like Fairfield, New Jersey, but it's close to New York, and that's considered New York territory. I went up there to work with this guy, and I never met him before on a construction site. And he was like 35 years old, and he could do all the stuff I told him to do. He was good with the burning. He did everything I told him to do. But this dude couldn't finish sentences, and I could see him thinking. Like I'd be like, "Yo, what you had for lunch today?" I had and I can see him thinking, and he was pausing a lot, right? And I was just like, this motherfucker's on the spectrum, not being disrespectful, but I'm like, something's going on with him. You know what I mean? But he was cool. Like he could do the work and he can finish and he can tell me what he had for lunch. It just takes he just gotta think about it.
He
And I'm
got a
like,
job. He got the perfect job. It lacked communication, dogs.
Yo, CJ, at first I didn't peep it because I'm like, nigga, you just ate. You just ate. You don't remember what you had for lunch. But then I had to realize he wasn't trying to remember what he had for lunch. He just couldn't get it out because his brain, like, you know what I mean? He a little fucked up.
and see, this is where I appreciate, like, again, knowledge is everything. Growing up and learning and getting great, newer understanding on things, it's everything. Because like you just said, what would have thought? Oh, he just a little slow. He just a little fucked up. Or that nigga delayed. Or the R word, or things like. But no, we've grown up to at least understand.
Like, it's a fire. He'd be like, "Yo, it's a," and he's just pointing in the direction of the fucking fire.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like we come from that era where you were, like you were the words that Big O said before, all them words, you know what I'm saying? But like, no, when you're an open-minded person that can, okay, you know what? I could change my ways. I could get along with the times and certain aspects of us from the 90s and the 80s. They ain't gonna change. But we've grown. We've grown.
You know what we do as a people, Dan? We don't treat them no different.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? No. We don't treat them as special. Like one of my closest friends, he grew up with like a nub right up to the elbow, and he was out there playing tackle football with us, baseball with us, basketball. We treated him no different. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, and that just made his childhood that much better. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all he wanted to be doing is to be accepted.
And that guy, I figured him out, right? So when I wanted to have conversations with him, I would always tell him, as soon as I ask him a question, I'll tell him keep working. Because during the time frame, he would, like, if he stopped burning, I'd say, no, you ain't got, I asked you what you had for lunch, but you ain't got to stop burning, keep burning, right? And in the time frame of him burning, he'll remember and he'll go, oh, I had ham and cheese. And it's just like, okay, cool. You know, I figured him out. You know what I mean?
But that's that goes to wrap this though. Like that goes exactly to what TJ said. It's just like yo, like we grew up where okay, we saw we had people around us that was delayed in certain areas and things like that, but we accepted people. We treated people as like, yo, you down with me, you down with us, and that's what it is, no matter what. And it goes to that old thing of like it's the thing that I teach my daughters. Like, yo, y'all could beat each other, y'all could cuss each other, y'all can hit. You don't let somebody else do that.
TJ.
You know what I'm saying? You keep your people as your people, and you treat everybody equally. Which this is all these other communities just treat us like everybody else.
TJ,
treat us like we're fucking human. That's it.
Ask you a question though, right? You played tackle football, and that was your homie, right?
Yeah.
But if he fumbled, that R word didn't come out sometimes. You know what I mean?
Nah, because we legitimately hit him like we hit everybody else. We didn't give a fuck, bro. But if he hit you with that nub, he catch you right, fuck you up, bro. That was calcified. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to get that was a fucking club over there, bro. You didn't want to get hit with that shit. But no, man.
Exactly. But if somebody else tried to dish your man's though, what was y'all doing?
Oh no. Yeah, we had his back. We
exactly.
Yo, when we play baseball, we called that nigga Jim Abbott. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it was.
Yeah,
so that's what it was.
I'm gonna be clear though. And I shouldn't even be saying this because I have a speech impediment myself, and I had to go to speech classes my whole life, and so I shouldn't be saying this. But I'm gonna be clear and honest. I can deal with anything in the world. I can deal with you being slow. I can deal with you looking disfigured. I can deal with all that. I'm cool with people. I try to make people feel as comfortable as I can. What I cannot deal with is a stutterer. I don't know why. I can't mentally. I cannot take it, bro. If you start stuttering around me, you gotta go. You gotta go.
You know what's funny? My sister, the oldest of my two sisters, when she was younger, she would stutter a lot, and we was like, God damn, I hope she grows out of it because this is gonna be a hard life for you. And me and my brother were sadistic, like we didn't give a fuck. Yo, if you stuttering, we're gonna make fun of it, and we was making fun of it when she was stuttering. Like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? We was ruthless. We was young people. The kids.
Tyrone would kick this guy all the way the fuck out. Then he would kick this guy out. Tyrone would fucking banish that guy to the netherworld. Oh man. But again, for anybody listening, anybody that fucks with us, whatever, understand again, we grew up in a certain era. And if that dude was down with us, guess what we would do? We would punch the next motherfucker in the teeth for that guy if he was down with us, straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? We made fun of shit like that, but we also understood. Though some of us as kids, we were assholes, and we would try to provoke some of that shit out of people. You know what I'm saying? But
it'd be like the people you got your boys with you, and you got that one outside dude. They be like, bro, you can't say that. Don't ever say that again, because I ain't gonna jump you, but everybody else will. So, and I ain't gonna stop him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Certain but shit you can't say around outside your circle.
Like my homies used to call me Plucky Duck, but nobody else could call me Plucky Duck.
You know what I'm saying? But point of even describing it and all of that shit is like these MAGA fucks is just like they think that they can just talk shit without consequence and do shit against people like this without consequence and shit like that. And that ain't y'all not getting it. Like, fuck with my people and there's a consequence. Right. You could talk as free as you want, but there's a consequence. There's going to be a consequence. And don't be just, but I had the right. You had the right also to shut the fuck up. You also had the right to get punched in the teeth because you was popping that shit a little way too much. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of, it's okay to respect people. But if you're going to bring jokes about the people in your cipher first. You know what I'm saying? So people understand that you don't do this shit with harm the way y'all act and shit like that.
Listen, in the immortal words of Prodigy, speak the wrong words, man, and you will get touched.
You'll get touched.
You will get
Or
touched. It's a free
I'll
country.
throw a
I
TV
don't
at
free
you
to fuck you
crazy.
up. Listen,
I'll throw
you
a
free to
TV
say
at
what
you
want to-
crazy.
Yes, you free to say what you want to say, and I'm free to react to what you said. How about that?
How about that? How about that? And all of it becomes a part of what's the other one, TJ? Natural selection.
Natural selection.
Natural selection just might take place in that thing. Just like how the NBA, some of these NBA ownership groups, and they chose to take the natural selection route and start firing these people. So just go have at it real quick, people, because I gotta go off camera for a second.
All right, listen. I don't know what Denver was doing. I know the Grizzlies did it like 2 weeks before, but I don't know what Denver was doing a week before the playoffs. They were essentially they were in the fourth seed. I don't know where they're finishing after today.
Not really. They weren't really in the fourth seed. They had the tiebreaker in the win column, but they was only one of. So technically, they was seventh, but because they didn't play as many games as the other teams, they ended up fourth. Like they had the same amount of losses as the other teams, but the other teams didn't play that other game. So
they piled up their wins on top to put them over the top.
So on paper they were fourth, but in reality, they could have been
the
seventh.
West is crazy. Yeah, the West is crazy. They said from 3 through 8, like a half a game separated those teams.
Today is that day, baby.
Yeah,
Golden State Clippers playing right now, and it's like a playoff game right now.
Listen, why would you fire your man? He coached a 2-time MVP and got you a chip. Has made all the right moves with the amount of injuries they had, especially to Jamal Murray and a couple of their bench players. What are you doing?
That was Joker's only coach, too.
Listen, Joker and everybody's been quiet on this shit, so I don't even know what was going on. Like, who knew about it? Did they do this and did they do it and tell Joker he was like the first person they told after they did it? Did they ask him? Did they tell him like, hey, we're firing you, we put next man up, you guys, this guy knows the offense, defense, what's up? Did the locker room not have his back?
I'm sure they didn't go to Joker.
Joker said it was a decision and not a discussion. He said they talked to him, but it was a decision and not a discussion.
Oh, so they made the decision.
And he basically said they just came to him and told him like, yo, your man's fired, bro. Like, that's it. Like, you're fired.
Yeah.
They had to do it like that. They had to do it that way.
But here's my point though. There's something wrong with Joker too, because my point is this: if you are the Joker and you putting up those numbers and you the star of this team or whatever, and they say you're supposed to have some say so, you might not have went there and got my man fired, but you didn't stop him. You didn't say no. You didn't say chill. You didn't say the playoffs is coming up. You ain't say you need.
He said it was a decision already. It was not a discussion.
No, it can't be a decision already. Because when they come to me and they go, "Hey, we firing them," you ain't say nothing. You just cool with it.
And
so that means
but then that becomes.
That's your
assumption. And I say that becomes a yeah, but who are you? That becomes a yeah, but who are you?
I'm Joker.
We made this decision. Yeah, but we made this decision.
I'm the only reason why y'all have a decision to fucking make, dog. Like, what you mean? Who am I?
Yeah, he's right.
True.
He's right.
No, I'm just giving balance. That's all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so my thing is, why didn't even if Joker couldn't save his job, Joker didn't say nothing about I took up for him. No, there's no record of Joker saying don't
why. That's in-house. That's in-house.
Yeah,
no, man.
He's not gonna say that on TV.
No, man.
You're crazy if you think he's gonna say that on TV.
So your star player don't have no say so over the coach.
We're gonna see.
That's what he said.
We're gonna see in a couple months if in a couple months if they move Joker. And my opinion, they're not gonna move Joker. He is one of the top 5 best players in the league. I mean, then again, I didn't think he was gonna move Doncic, and they moved him. So I think he was gonna move Luka. You know what I'm saying? But he's better than. I mean, team wise, he's better than Luka.
Well, okay. So let me ask you a question, right? Oh, let me ask you particular. You are the owner of the Denver Nuggets, and you got a guy that's giving you 30, 15, and 15 and can give you more than that on any night. You got a guy that gave you a 61-point triple-double, and y'all lost that game. You got that guy, and y'all won a championship 2 years prior, and you got that guy on your team, and your team is right now fighting for the play-in. Don't some heads got to roll, dog? Some heads got to roll in that situation.
Not his.
No.
Not Malone. Not
Not-
Mike
and
Malone's
not
head.
this, and not this close.
Yeah.
Not
and
this close to the playoffs.
No.
Maybe All-Star break. All-Star break would have been some
Do
serious
that shit
evaluation.
during the summertime. No.
Yeah.
Do that shit
Yo.
during the summertime, though.
Yeah. So, no. You know why? Because here's my opinion on this. Denver, the ownership of the Denver Nuggets already got their eyes on who they want to coach their team. So they got rid of Malone and the GM right away, right now, because they don't suspect that Denver, with the way they're playing, is going to win the championship. They expect that Denver's going to be out probably first or second round. So they're like, you know what? We're going to get ahead of it because some of these coaches that's getting fired, some of these coaches on these teams that's not going to make the playoffs, or some of these coaches on these teams that's going to be out of the playoffs early, we want to get the jump on hiring them. And that's what I
Why?
think.
Why would you do that? He's a better
That's
coach
what
than all those dudes.
That's
He's
what
a
they're
better
And
trying to
coach
if
do,
you
than
right?
had-
all
out
those
there.
dudes.
And if you had your eye on somebody, they will wait. Those guys will
Absolutely.
wait. There's
Yeah.
no rush. That's what you have a team in the background for, to do all that, get all the ball rolling and turning for if the potential is there.
Because
You don't do that
discussions
shit
were already
2-3
made.
weeks before playoffs started.
Right. Right.
That's
Discussions were already
insane.
made
That don't make
with
no
their
sense.
target.
That don't make no sense.
If you're ownership, though, and you think Mike Malone is the problem, what difference does it make? Y'all not going to win. If Mike
Who
Malone's the
said
problem
that?
and y'all not going to win,
Who
y'all not going to
said
win
that?
anyway.
Who said that?
The ownership obviously thinks Mike Malone is the problem. They fired him.
Mike Malone ain't
I think-
the reason
I
Jamal
think it's
Murray
the
was
Ime
at half the
Udoka
year.
part 2. Right.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Mike
It
Malone
wasn't-
don't control
I
injuries,
mean,
dog.
Mike Malone is nasty. I can't see no woman wanting to deal with him. That man is nasty. He ain't a nice guy at all. That dude is disgusting.
Man, Tyrone, we talked about the president before, and that motherfucker had some drawers.
I'm just saying. I ain't even talking about like physically nasty. I'm talking about that man talks. He's not like his personality is not attractive. Like to me, for a woman
Listen,
to deal with him.
I don't think you have to.
Yeah.
But if she
Listen,
in the
man.
organization, she should be cool with her finances. You know what I mean? Like she should be cool. You work for an NBA
Her
team. You should be
finances
making
ain't going to
decent
get
money.
affected. The coach's finances is going to get
Hey
affected.
yo, man, damn, man.
Ime Udoka. I just brought that up as a joke. I wasn't even being serious.
Nah, Mike Malone, I don't see that as his character. You know what I'm saying? That's I think that's a reach. Something else
mean
was
it,
going
Charlie?
on.
Hey, I tell you what.
No, something else was going
I'll
on.
take him in
dog.
New York.
Udoka was dating Nia Long at the time. He was handsome and soft spoken. So he was that kind of dude that you'd be
Oh.
like, hey, you look at him and you
Oh.
go, hey, he might be fucking around. Malone is some dude that you look like who would even the players don't even want to talk to him.
Oh, Tibbs ain't going nowhere. That's damn near Jalen Brunson's uncle. You know what I'm saying?
In the words of Miss Pearly on next Friday, bitch, somebody like it. There's somebody like it. There's somebody
So
out there for him,
He looked like
So
a
at least-
retired grizzled Marine and shit.
right?
least I'm throwing out-
He looked like the
So
dude
what
from
reason-
Avatar.
So come
He
on.
got that regiment face.
I gave the only logic I could give. You guys got to come up with at least a reason why this man got fired at the time that he got fired. I can understand
You
why
know,
he got fired at the end of the season. Because at the end of the
Y'all
season,
can have it.
I'm saying at the end of the season, if I had a guy like Jokic and we got into the play-in and we ended up in the play-in and we only won and we didn't get past the first round, yeah, I might fire the coach. But why did he get fired right now?
There's got to be a bigger problem behind this somewhere, somehow.
Has to be.
Because you don't to do this shit when you're, again, if it play in or not, if you're in the play in, you're in the playoffs. That's a playoff game. You don't do this shit right before the playoffs. That's dumb.
Unless
And again, hold on, TJ, you can have it after this. But then again, to your logic of they're thinking, oh, we're thinking ahead that we're not going nowhere. If you are in close enough position, and that is your brain, and that's the brain rot that's happening in you at your organization, then whatever happens to you, you deserve it for thinking low of yourself when you are right there about to get into the playoffs. If you're thinking all the stuff that you described, Tyrone, ahead of time, and you're going to do that move to fire, you deserve everything you get. Because nobody should be thinking that. Unless you are at the bottom of the league, and it's like, okay, we have to rebuild. Then you do that shit, but not when you're about to make a playoff. That's dumb.
Or the other thing I think is that I can imagine this conversation happening. I can imagine the ownership going, "Hey, Mike, you got Jokic. You know this guy's giving you all these numbers and all this is happening. Why the fuck are we still losing?" And Mike going, "Hey, y'all gave fucking Michael Porter Jr. $36 million and y'all brought in dumbass Russell Westbrook, and that's why you're fucking losing." And
No,
that's TV conversation. That's conversation for First Take.
Unless they're like secretly selling the team. You know what I'm saying?
So wait, you don't think that Mike Malone could have possibly said something too bad in a conversation about why the team wasn't doing that good?
What do you mean that good though? What's not that good?
The GM got the boot too.
The GM not that good.
Denver ain't supposed to be in the play when you got a guy putting up them numbers, dog. You not.
But listen. They were in the 3-8 range, where a half a game separated them from third place to eighth place. They're not looking at no fucking playing. They were making the playoffs.
The Nuggets
teams outside that bubble so they were making the playoffs regardless.
You're saying this is not a disappointing season?
Making the playoffs?
I don't think so.
It's disappointing for the Nuggets.
They were right where they're supposed to be.
Right.
Here's the 2025 playoff bracket as of right now,
and they're
beyond playing.
No, they're not. No, they're not, because they don't have the tiebreakers over none of those teams, so they're listed as.
He's not wrong, because the Timberwolves are in a play-in, and they got one game less than the fucking Nuggets. And the Grizzlies are 2 games out.
Right now, they're winning big against the Rockets right now.
Who is?
Nuggets. Nuggets are playing the Rockets right now. They're winning.
It's over. They got the 4th spot locked up.
Well, right now they got the 3rd spot. Yeah, 4th spot. Yeah. I guess the Lakers.
East is already settled. The East is already settled. I guess not for the AC, but. Yeah, the Knicks and Pistons, I'm cool with that. That'll get them ready for whoever they got to play in the second round. I don't think that's going to be an easy win.
We want Detroit anyways.
So, again, they're sitting at the 4th seed currently, and if this game concludes with the win, they're probably going to lock the 4th seed.
Yeah.
Why do you fire your coach weeks before this?
Yeah. That don't make no sense, man.
Because at the time, they lost a bunch of games, and they wasn't looking like they was going to lock the 4th seed down. They was looking like they was going to play in.
The schedule played out exactly how it was supposed to. They knew what they was getting at the end of their schedule. Come on, man. Stop it. They knew what they had and what they were going to finish with at the end of the season. They knew they could make that run against the teams they were playing against. They're better than them. To a man. That's why.
They're only beating the Rockets because the Rockets ain't playing nobody, dog. The Rockets got the 2 seed lined up, so they ain't playing nobody.
But what I'm saying, they got a great chance against the Clippers. They got a great chance against the Clippers to beat the Clippers, man.
I don't know. Kawhi been playing lights out.
Yeah.
Until his feet go lights out, his leg or his knee.
But Denver's got the deeper bench.
Kawhi not making it through the play. Why are we talking about Kawhi Leonard? He's not making it through the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard
You
gonna
don't
be
think
in a
so?
suit in a couple of days, man.
Did you see? Did you see the stat that said Mel's been retired for what, 3 years, 4 years now, and he still played more games than Joel Embiid?
Wow.
And shouts out to Carmelo Anthony. Word up. We forgot that.
Hall
too.
of Famer.
Shouts out to Carmelo Anthony, first ballot Hall of Famer, and absolutely deserves it. And this is for the basketball fan. Who knows? That's not even the point I'm going to try to get at right now. But this is for the basketball fan out there that doesn't understand. This is the basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame. I think people get heavily confused between them. It's the National Basketball Hall of Fame. And it's not just the NBA. It's what you've done globally. It's what you've done from all your ranks coming up. A college career alone, Melo he wouldn't have been first ballot, but Melo probably could eventually got in for that run he made with Syracuse to the national championship. But what he did as a pro, yes, he won no championships. But when you go back and look at that man's stats, like it was a no-brainer.
He's a walking bucket, as they say.
Still.
Yeah. He'll cook you right now. Cook.
I was a Melo fan. I was an advocate for picking him over LeBron. I know that was a mistake in hindsight, but when they got drafted, I was going to pick Melo over LeBron.
Listen. Melo had a better rookie year than LeBron, and LeBron still won the Rookie of the Year. His stats were better across the board.
But
the board.
So let me ask you a question though. Timing aside, right? Timing aside. Let's say Denver's going to lock up the 4th seed. Okay, that's not saying so. On the 4th seed, they're going to play possibly Golden State, possibly Minnesota, possibly Memphis, right? If Denver loses, timing aside, if you own the Nuggets and they lost in the first round, does Mike Malone keep his job at the end of the season?
Maybe not. But you can't predict that.
Right. Then we can have the conversation. We can have the conversation then.
You can't foretell that shit though.
Like Dan has said numerous times on the show already, it has to be something behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And who knows? Like let's be clear, right? I mean, we use Ime Udoka as an example. Remember that Ime Udoka's story should not have come out. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy that it came out the way it did. Who's to say that this is going on in Denver?
Listen, Avery Johnson was coach of the year in Toronto and got let go the next year. You
went back too far. You talking about what's dude was it Larry Drew? Which the black guy that was there before Nick Nurse in Toronto? He got fired. He was coach of the year and got fired.
Frank Vogel for the Lakers. Frank Vogel for the Lakers won the bubble chip and got fired.
Yeah, won the championship. Well, listen, Lakers is a different animal. Lakers is a different animal. Lakers,
that was unnecessary though. It was unnecessary.
The last 2 firings were unnecessary. You got to keep JJ Redick.
Look at what your man's doing in Detroit. The coach for Detroit.
Bickerstaff.
And he was just in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm. It's a carousel, man.
But we also got to look at. I watched the games, right, and like I'll bring up that game where Jokic had that 61-point triple double, right? Westbrook played terrible in that game, played terrible in the overtime, and made 2 crucial mistakes that cost them that game. And Malone didn't say nothing to him, didn't pull him out or none of that. And to me, I'm looking at that going like, that's terrible coaching, man. And there's a lot of instances where I'm like, Malone has made some bad coaching decisions on the court that I'm seeing.
Tyrone.
He didn't do it to you on camera. Do it for you on camera.
That part.
Tyrone.
That's really all we're saying.
What is the situation though? Could he put in a better player than Westbrook at the time?
There were no better players.
I'm
You
saying
know what
why?
I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about here?
I'm
I
saying
mean, if
that.
Westbrook is a nut, that's why fucking Jokic got 61, right? Because
But
nobody
I'm
else was
saying.
scoring but him.
So
So
I'm
that's not
saying why.
that's not Jokic's fault. It's
But
the
I'm
rest
saying
of the
why.
team's fault.
I'm saying why didn't the coach pull Westbrook out the game?
Who's gonna put in the game?
Would that
Anybody?
have made a would that have made a difference though?
Yes,
That's what I'm
it would
saying.
have made a difference in the overtime. Westbrook single-handedly cost him that game. Two
It's
plays
easy to
cost him
say
that game
after
in
the
overtime,
fact. It's
and they
always
both
easy to
was
say after the
by
fact.
Westbrook. But he was already playing terrible. I would have took him out. If I was the coach, Westbrook would have been on the bench, bro. And I believe
Yeah.
that Denver would have won that
Listen,
Okay,
game.
Pat
but
Riley.
listen, listen,
Okay, Pat
listen. What
Riley
is
letting John Stark shoot 3 for 9.
I'll tell you this. Hey, did y'all see the game? Let me explain to you how they lost. They had the lead. They got a steal. Westbrook had the ball. 9 seconds left. He ran down the court and tried to make a layup and missed it. All he had to do when they had the fast break off the steal was back the ball out. He could have wasted that 9 seconds. They would have won the game. He ran down court in 2 seconds, missed the layup, and gave the other team the ball back.
Listen, man.
That's stupid. Another player
You
wouldn't
know.
have did that.
Listen, you know what you're getting with Westbrook, right? He's a nut. He's a nut. He doesn't play defense. He stat pads. Like, you know what you're getting with him. So why bring him in? Why go after this guy then? If that's the point.
Because
That's
he
why
can
the
give you
GM got
20.
fired too.
He can get you 20 almost any night.
That's why the
25.
GM
He'll
got
get you
fired
20
too.
almost any night, yeah. And assists.
Yeah.
You know, but again, like I said before, the GM got fired too. So it wasn't just Malone that got fired.
Right. It'd be a different story if it's just him.
Right.
Didn't a few others get released or let go or something like that? Or it was just him?
Memphis
I know
coach
he
that
was the
couple weeks
biggest
ago.
story.
Memphis coach and then Mike Brown.
The
Mike Brown was
Memphis
the first
coach
one.
who's got a black name, Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got fired.
Mike Brown was the first one that got fired.
No, Taylor before him.
Oh yeah? Oh shit.
Yeah. Taylor was like 2 weeks before him. Yeah,
But,
that didn't make it. Go ahead.
I think that the Memphis coach lost the locker room, dude. I mean, when you got a player like Morant that obviously don't give a fuck about nothing, you need a different coach in there for that kid, man.
Need
That
a
coach
tough
is not
coach.
reaching that young boy.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think Memphis needs to really think about walking away from Morant. My opinion.
Fresh start.
Yeah. Get that kid a fresh start, man. See if we can get some draft picks for him.
Well, get a
Where
guy.
would he go?
I mean,
Chicago.
Hey, listen, I would send him to Brooklyn. Brooklyn got 2 first-round picks this year.
No, they're gonna need
5
more than
balls
that,
together.
bro. They're gonna need all 5.
Well, yeah.
Plus Cam Thomas.
They're the only ones with. Where
Plus
you gonna
Cam
send Utah? Utah got picks. Memphis is gonna want
He
some
ain't
picks.
playing in Utah. He ain't playing in Utah.
Well, yeah. Well, guess what? It's not up to him.
why? Because he's
You're
playing
right.
in Memphis now.
You're right.
What's the difference?
You're right. White Wakanda it is.
White Wakanda forever.
I'm just saying. I like Memphis players, but
White Conda forever. White
White
Conda
Conda.
forever.
White
it's
Conda
not just the
forever.
gun thing. It's also if you watch Memphis play in the game, sometimes this kid plays reckless basketball too. Like don't act like he's playing reckless basketball at times too, and they just let him do whatever he wants. He takes wild shots. He fucks up the game a lot for them.
Well,
He
you know what
reminds
though?
me of a young Kyrie Irving. That's what he reminds me of.
He doesn't realize, man, that it's no longer his team. It's more Jaren Jackson's team now.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he's the last one to realize that, man.
I don't know. I just think that I know why. I think Memphis coach got fired because I think that like it's based on the relationship with him and Ja, and Ja's just not he's not progressing, and I
Yeah.
think that's they blame that on the coach, which I kind of agree. coach just letting that. If you just letting a kid go buck wild on the court, maybe you lost the locker room a little bit.
Yeah, well.
Sounds valid to me. Also sounds like we're done. This was a dope conversation today. Tyrone said, "Oh, I gotta go back in the house now. So I gotta go back home now." But you know what to do, oh.
Yeah, man, yo, I love shows like this, man, with the back and forths and these great discussions and conversations, man. Great show though, man. Looking forward to next week. Shout out to the listeners, shout out to the viewers, shout out to my boy Jamal across the world right now. Shout out to you guys, man. Yeah, man, great show, man. I'm gonna pass it off to Tyrone, man. I guess TJ in here.
Yeah, great show. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the listeners. Shout out to the viewers that was in the comments and all that. And yeah, I always enjoy this because most of the vitriol comes from me, and I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I'm just glad that I can be myself on here. I can give the outrageous takes. I can say things that maybe I shouldn't say, and I'm not being judged over here because y'all know where my brain goes and how I get down. And so it's like, it's cool when you talk to people that have an understanding of who you are as a person, so the conversations don't go the wrong way. And that's what I really appreciate from you brothers, that y'all took me in, y'all understand, you did your research, so to speak, and you know how to get down with me.
Yo, real quick, right? Real quick, man. So I don't know if y'all seen the AT&T commercial with Melo and the statue reveal. And you notice how they have Dwayne Wade in the commercial? You know what I'm saying? Because I guess so all right, so Melo's commercial, the statue is like a tiny figurine of a statue, right?
Yeah.
But it just so happens that they have Dwayne Wade on there. I guess it's a shot at whoever designed Dwayne Wade's statue, because that shit was just so horrible.
It looked like he's screaming or something
yo,
like
beautiful
that.
beautiful statue. And I'm just like, yo, wow, yo, it's that was good. That was good. So yeah.
Can I just get my commercial? Because I just, so y'all seen the Capital One commercial where there's like a Charles Barkley blimp and it's going up against a Magic Johnson blimp, and they trying to dunk or whatever, and Magic's trying to block Charles from dunking, and Magic turns his rings on, and they like, and Charles Barkley's like, and they're all in the thing, and they're like, yo, Magic turned his rings on, he's blinding us with the rings, and they're like, turn on our rings, and Magic goes, we ain't got no rings.
I think I seen that one.
Yeah, that was good.
I think I love how Charles Barkley embraced that about him.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go against it. It didn't happen.
Yeah. It didn't happen. Word.
It didn't happen. It should have happened with that Rockets team, but
yep.
Suns team.
Listen. You think about the 90s and how many greats were playing at the same time, and how many players should have won a ring that did it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that just shows you the greatness of one play. I hate him with a passion.
Well, I think Charles Barkley should have punched Kevin Johnson in the face. I'm just sorry. When Kevin Johnson lost that game in the finals, he should have socked him.
They lost 4 games to 2.
Yeah, but they got the game 7 because Kevin Johnson fucked them in game 6. Phoenix could have won game 6, and then they could have made it to game 7. They lost game 6 because Kevin Johnson fucked up at the end of the game.
I got to see that game again.
TJ?
Yeah, they almost had game 6 won. And then who knows what would have happened in game 7? We don't know. I'm not betting against Michael Jordan, but we don't know.
No, man. You know what? You messed that up. What was the fight that the Kings had with Phoenix and all the players got suspended? That Phoenix team was on fire.
I don't remember that.
You remember the one? Oh, you don't remember that series with the? Damn, I can't remember. That Phoenix team was going down. That was the year Amari Stoudemire was just dunking all over Tim Duncan, like every chance he could get.
That wasn't the era when he punched the thing, right?
Well, I
No.
can't speak on
He
it.
punched the firebox.
Yeah, that was
I
when
can't-
he's on the Knicks.
I can't speak on it because I'm a Lakers fan, and anything that's mentioned in the Sacramento Kings in the playoffs back then, I black out because I hate them.
That was a rough series for y'all.
I hate them.
You talking about 01? When they got robbed?
Look, who got robbed? Just let's leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Come on, bro.
The show was over. TJ, give your shout outs. The show's over.
We don't talk about that in my house. All right, we don't talk about... Don't get me started, boy.
Oh, shit.
I hurt you in real life. Oh, man, God. Is that personal, huh, Ty? All right.
Yeah.
They let you down?
Hey, I'm just saying, man. We all watched this. We all watched the series too, man. And we all remember Sports Center.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Just like we watched Sports Center with Charles Smith. Welcome to our pain, motherfucker.
Yeah, well.
Welcome to our pain. You don't know pain like we know pain, sir.
That's true.
Oh, man.
It's on you, TJ.
That's it? We done?
Yeah, that's it, man.
We've been trying to get, and on that note, 20% off your order using the code START5. Once again, shouts out to Mello, shouts out to Gentleman's Cigar. I thought I had something else. Oh, shout outs, rest in peace to, and shouts out and congratulations, which I hate the WWE for doing this all the time, but Mr. James Harris, aka Kamala, the Ugandan giant, on getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I hate when they love to do that shit to people who when they're deceased instead of just giving them their light while they were alive, and especially for the WWE because I think they give them a little something too. Like I think Tyrone, do they give them like a little check or something like that?
Yeah.
And Mr. James Harris needed that because he lost his life to a long time struggle with diabetes. You know, like lost both legs, lost not all of his leg, but lost both legs from I think the knee down and all that stuff when he was alive, and then eventually it took him over. But the man needed the help when he was alive. It's cool to give the recognition after, but we wish we did it when they was alive. But congratulations and rest in peace to him. And that's it. We done. Rest easy to this show. Just be a good human and protect those around you.
Absolutely.
And fuck 4547. Peace.
Mm-hmm.